What's up, everybody? What you just saw right there was the promotional video for the Mumia Obsidian Ali experience. It will be going down in Philly. I will be there, as you saw in the ad. Ike Ogiamian will be there, Theo Waff, and of course, Obsidian will be there, Shannon Rouse. So, going to be a nice event, sort of an extension of the Black Manosphere meetup. So, the information will be in the chat room and in the description on how you can get tickets to the event. So yeah, make sure if you're interested, if you go and check that out and click those links. Hopefully, I don't know if RM is in the building. If she's in the building, she'll be putting the links in the chat room right now. So even if you're catching this after it's uploaded, you can still look at the live chat replay and click on the links. But with that said, now let's get on with the show.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
All right, we are back in the building. I see it's 28 people in here. I legit got nervous because normally when I start the show, there's the first few comments that drop. I never been on the, well, I mean, I guess for me, because I'm normally used to shouting out the first few comments. Nobody was leaving a comment, so I had to check and see, did I turn comments off? This is rare. Only one person has dropped a comment, and he dropped it after I said, "Do I have comments off?" So people are on a comment boycott from my channel. Okay, JC the Conqueror in the building. Hey, I made me nervous. Normally when the intro rolling, yeah, it is about 20, 30 people in here while the intro is rolling. But normally those first few people come in and drop some comments. Okay, there we go. TD Hush. The early bird squad finally coming through. The early bird squad woke up late, or I woke up late. So yeah, that's probably the situation. We in here late. People probably thought I wasn't gonna be on the air. They jumped on late. But shout out to everybody in the building. We got the Hood Servative back in here for another one. We're gonna have an interesting show for you. This is going to go I won't say a weird direction, just a different direction. Something that's sort of unexpected, uh on the last, I don't know if we talked about this on the air during the last show or we talked about it off the air. I can't even remember, but the the divestment community. Um, you did some research and you found some startling things. I wouldn't even know if to call it research if you just listen to a few YouTube videos. I guess we can call that research in the modern
It's
time.
research of a type, yeah.
Yeah.
Watching
Okay.
people's
So
content so you can talk about them later is very much research.
okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, so you found some interesting things, some very interesting things when you did some research on that. So just what were some of the shocking things that you stumbled across? And we're gonna get deep into that. And you know, we always bring the clips, but we're gonna get deep into that. But just give us just the little teaser trailer of some of the shocking things that you found out in
Well,
your journey through the divestment community.
well, for one, it's majority what you would expect. You know, black men are trash, bullet bags. The white man is the real master. You know, they want to be with a white man. It's very typical in that sense, and so I wasn't surprised because like I'd come across this stuff when I jumped on Twitter months ago, and I was like farming for content, and I was noticing like there's a certain class of black women on this app that's kind of nutty in their approach to like how bad black men are. It's like I understand, you know, a lot of us suck, some of us suck, but you know, they were really extreme with it. But then I found a few clips that sent me down a weird direction. The black divestors criticize black women or you know, women of the community almost with the same targeted criticisms and vitriol that the black manosphere makes. So when they talk about, you know, the bastard baby making, they talk about you just love these thugs. They talk about how you can't even raise your own sons right. You're scared of your own sons, and your sons turn out to sometimes they come back and shoot you. You're like, wow, you know what? It almost sounds like the black manosphere.
So it's like, okay, this is my thing. Now, I'm of the view that a lot of them decided that they're going whatever route that they're going because all those things that they're talking about, well, they've done it. They've messed with, as he said, you know, the thugs or whatever, and they've made, you know, they've had the bastard babies that they failed or struggled to raise. I mean, put it like this: if these were if they were coming off like sophisticated valley girls and was stepping back, giving a critique or social commentary or criticism of the community, then I could look at it like, you know, but seeing as they talk, I mean, you can't really see them, but you could kind of, you can, well, there are people
You
that
can
have,
see
you
them
know,
in your mind. Just listen to the voice and close your eyes, and you can see them in your mind. They all sound fat.
there's a video when I looked at some of it. There is a video where somebody did actually put on I don't know, somebody camera came on and they showed one of them, and it was like, so it was what you would expect. What was on that camera? It was what you would expect, and so, so I'm looking at them and I'm listening to them, and they're not sounding like somebody who's separate and apart from what they're criticizing. If you understand where I'm going with it,
No,
they look
exactly. I
like,
caught that
talk
too.
like, and sound like they look like, talk like, and sound like somebody who's still in the thick of it. If you understand where I'm going. And so it's like that's the weird part about it. And I notice like with a lot of black men, we will get to the point where, okay, we've built a life for ourselves where the, you know, the nigga shit is in our rearview mirror, if we can see it at all. Okay. We're grown men, we live in grown adult men lives right now. We're not in no nonsense. We ain't got, you know, I mean, okay, some of us probably still have to, you know, go to court for about, you know, stuff regarding our kids and child custody and visitation and that all of that stuff. Those are the remnants that, you know, you're not going to get rid of. I'll grant that, you know. You know, if you were married and you had children, or you were in a relationship and you had children, and then okay, the children still have to be worked out. But overall, I'm talking about just really being in the thick of it with the nonsense, where you just really got just you got Keisha, as they call it, just barking, just chewing your ear off, barking down your neck, and you're getting into all kind of problems and crazy entanglements and weird that, like, I do tend to believe that a lot of us who have a critique of the black community, we're in most cases, I'm not saying we're just some super successful elite, but we're men who are, upright, hardworking men who have worked ourselves into a position where we ain't in the thick of it dealing with the nonsense that's in the community. So we like I like how SKC calls himself a community anthropologist. I don't these I didn't see I didn't see any anthropologists studying something. I just didn't see that there. So
They
that
don't
that
have
was
the SKC collegial tone. They don't strike the same tone as SKC when they do their work. But I think what you're describing, well, what I noticed, like, to comment on what you're talking about, what I noticed about these women is that they seem to be trying to, like, draw a line and saying, like, I'm black, but I'm not these women. And, like, it gets deep. Like, they don't support the racist narrative. They don't
I
support the
that
white supremacy narrative. Haven't I been saying that for a while? They're going to use this shit against us. The longer you tell black women that the white man been holding you back for 400 years, the more ammunition she has to look at you like you a little bum, like you not worth the effort.
man, you know
And I
what?
finally found the prediction is true. It's real life, and it's here, and they get 1,000+ live views every time she goes on.
Goddamn. Now that part I didn't know. But
It's not a small contingency. This is like a quietly growing um subculture.
mm, now, okay, I brought this up to Lil Big Nate. Me and Lil Big Nate, we got something coming up next week. We're going to be doing some stuff together. But I brought this up to Lil Big Nate, and because I had seen it, which you just described, I've seen it before, where they rejected the whole victimhood narrative. They rejected the whole victimhood narrative through and through. And I was sitting here thinking that, when I it's hard to put it into words, because that's something that me, you, Lil Big Nate, and a lot of people in this space have cast aside, and we've thrown that aside. We don't go down there. Whenever somebody come on my panel, when they start trying to take it down that right route, I either cut them off, or argue with them, or just roll my eyes and let them finish. And then, because it is true that you come off as weak, especially if you're talking about the social dynamics between black men and black women, and you're talking about black women being disrespectful and not submissive and this or that or blah 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 blah. But when you're basically saying that some other man has some dominance over you, then okay, you sound like a weak bitch ass motherfucker that she ought not be submitting to. I mean, that's how it comes off. But that's not the only reason. I mean, I reject the whole narrative of victimhood and white supremacy, but I just don't think it's I don't buy it in the context that people talk about it. The things that they would call white supremacy are things that basically affect every citizen. So that's where I'm at with it. But just to to not ramble and make my point clear, that I've noticed this a long time ago, that the divestment community, they are gradually, and that's sort of why the title is some things that black men and black women can agree on, even though I didn't put it in the title that we're talking about divestors, because I'm not trying to make yeah, I'm not trying. I mean, I ain't trying to beef with nobody. I'm just giving analysis. But I did notice that they were leaning conservative and letting go of the whole liberal victimhood and being on welfare. And they sound like they're on welfare, but they're letting go of that whole leaning on, clinging to handout to the government, mindset. I
Yeah.
am kind of hearing that. Now I think that part is capped. I think that part is lip service. But if far as just the victim narrative and the white man holding me down and all of that stuff, they're letting go of that. And it's sort of it's internal logic as to why they would, because after all, they can't be saying the white man is God, but then also saying he's oppressing everybody. So
Right.
so that's their internal logic as to why
They don't like
they're
the white
doing
woman
that.
though. They don't
Oh, they
like the
don't.
white woman though, but there's also internal logic there. You know, competition. Why would you?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I did notice. That, man. I noticed a lot of things. Over there. But the whole letting go of the victim narrative and white supremacy thing, I was running that by Little Big Nate when we did some content a while ago, and he said he hadn't noticed it, but I was noticing this like 6 months ago. Like 6
Yeah,
months ago, I was noticing that, and it was like
I've
an
been.
instant turn. It was, and it started from up top. I'll go ahead and say it. Basically, I think Cynthia G, I'll go ahead and say it. I think she started doing it. She low key started doing it because she started saying, well, instead of her saying that you're being oppressed and dominated by white supremacy or white men or the white power structure or whatever, instead of her saying that, she started saying, look, well, if they believe they are, because apparently they believe they are dominated by it, then why aren't they doing anything about it? It's like it was like a subtle change in her rhetoric, where she went from saying it to saying that if you believe that you are, because I saw her having a debate with somebody, a guy who I don't really like to mention that sector, but I saw her having a debate with one of the guys over there, and he was arguing that the structure, the white supremacy, white power structure, blah blah blah, and that's what was holding them back. But in the debate, and I realized that, oh shoot, she's arguing that it's not. And I was like, wow, that's sort of what we argue. We argue that it's not, and it's in our hands to roll up our sleeves and make our own way. That's what we tend to argue over here. And so you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right that dudes was talking like there was no other way to say it. They was talking and sounding weak long enough to eventually they started using it against them. And that's the direction that they're going.
It makes perfect sense that it would have come from Miss G, because she has been like harnessing the support of a lot of black men for a few years now on YouTube. It makes perfect sense that it comes from her, because it's like the perfect order 66. At some point, we will kill all the Padawans. That's how they're going for it. And yes, of course, this is always a part of the plan. Do you really think that someone like Miss G was really truly an ally of the black male? No, she wanted her supporters to support her cause properly. That doesn't mean she's your ally though. And that's
whoever thought she was an ally.
There's a lot of men that follow her because she hates white people, or pretended to at a certain point. Being a black woman fighting the pro-black cause gets you black male support. And once you get enough black male support, at any moment you can order 66 them.
Okay, now I got you. Yeah. It's a.
It's really hilarious. I'll tell you this, because I don't know that Senji does this. I don't really watch her at all, but I was researching a little bit this week, and when the Divestors talk about black crime, it sounds like the SKC show. It sounds like Ak Nation. It sounds like, ABL. They sound like coons. I swear to God, this is hilarious. These black women be cooning so hard, and I'll just be like, you know what? God damn it, I kind of like this. I know it's bizarre. It's like when your arch enemy makes a funny. Like, come on, you can't laugh when your enemy tells a good joke. Like, wow, you know what? You got a point. You got a point. That nigga was crazy.
That's interesting, man. That is interesting. But so we're gonna roll some clips on it. Let me get it properly pulled up, and I don't want to play that much of it. I forgot to tell you, we was rambling in the back chat before the show. One thing that I do want to do, it was some stuff that we didn't play in the last show that I want to circle back to that, because I mean I want to spend some time on this, but I'm not trying to go all the way in. But it is.
I know I sent you a lot we didn't get through. I don't
Yeah.
even remember how much stuff I sent you. It was good stuff. I got one more link here in the back chat, in the private chat, that we really have to go deep into this, because this is someone who is in the professional realm, and this is wait till you see it. You'll know why I'm triggered.
All right. So give me 1 second. Let me get a share screen up. Share screen up, and now let me try to. Oh shoot, that ain't how I wanted to show that. I don't know how.
There it is.
Yeah, that might be the best way to. Yeah, that may be the best way to do it. I was trying to. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Y'all will hear the audio, because I'm still not even trying to have them up on my screen. I ain't trying to advertise. I do like to break down what people are saying. It ain't about the person. I analyze the words. I attack the ideas and not the people. That's how I roll. But I mean, it's a messy, trifling, ratchet ass sector. So I ain't even. At least that's my outside looking in view of it. But so
I feel like they will send the goon squad. They will definitely send the goon squad.
Yeah. I ain't trying to, I ain't going. It ain't that I just don't want smoke with them. I don't want smoke with no damn body. I do a show where I do reaction videos, but I don't do it in a way where it's going to start smoke and beef in a goddamn tribal war, and I don't do that shit. I just don't.
Hey,
do
look,
that
how can it be smoke if I'm giving y'all half the credit? Like I say, y'all actually making points I agree with. So I'm not even trying to be really harsh and critical towards the women. I just think it's ironic and bizarre. It's so 2022 that we have black female coons now. Yeah. I love this. I really do. This is just cracking me up. Like the way y'all talk about black men is the exact same way, quote unquote, racists been talking about black men forever. And I just think it's a beautiful time to take notice and just stand back and absorb it all. Just take it all in, bro.
All right. So I'm about to roll it, I think, from that 10-minute mark on this one. Should be rolling. Oh wait, no, it's not rolling. Now it should be. Let me know if you can hear it.
For black love and the protection of black women at the hands of a
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay.
And that spent the better part of his marriage cheating on his black wife, no matter how light-skinned she is. He was cheating on her with a whole white woman and a whole white Latina, which goes to show you that even when they want a mistress and somebody to cheat with, your black asses are still not on their radar. So imagine defending that as a black woman and then having everybody else following suit, talking about it doesn't matter if that doesn't tell you all you need to know about his character.
Now, I don't know who she's talking about right here. This sort of leads into the part that we want to talk about. I don't know exactly who she's talking about right here, but do you know?
No, I'm lost. Some kind of celebrity thing.
Okay, but yeah, they're gonna roll into something that's a little relevant.
That's a contradiction. I saw an article today that was written by USA Today and then reposted by several other news sources talking about Will Smith and the unfair burden that black men face. And all I could say to that was, thanks a lot, black women. The world is listening and they have heard you loud and clear. You're going to tell us how unpredictable and violent they are and that they lack impulse control. And as soon as there's an example of that on full display, you start defending the behavior. So that means that your argument then goes straight out the window. You have successfully turned him into a victim, a martyr, and a hero all at the same time. So
let's stop right there. Let's stop.
I knew you were going to stop right there.
Beautiful. This was so beautiful. Yes. It's like, dang, I want you on my side, but you hate me so much. God, this is
Right.
killing me. You are like, it's like when somebody from the clan does something you like. It's like, bro, we could have been friends. Ah, what the hell? All right, no. Let's slow down. So her criticisms of black women, like I said, the way, and it's not just her, it's just like their panel. And this is a couple of days worth of this now. But the way they criticize black women, do you see eye to eye with at least certain members of the black manosphere and their criticisms of black women as well? Because now that you ladies have separated yourself from this herd, at least ideologically, and you probably moved out the hood too, because you can't really, you can't be a divestor if you still live in the ghetto. It's really hard, I imagine.
Shit.
So
These
yeah,
be living in the they be living in the ghetto part of the ghetto on a cell phone with bad reception, talking about what they done divested from. Cut it out. Like
I know, but I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
They've ideologically divested. I'll give them that. They ain't moved no goddamn where. Like I said at the beginning, if they were put it like this, if they just want to talk shit about nigga shit, I'm with them. But if they were truly divested and truly trying to move on, move out, level up, like they would have to be presenting like some pink pill crystalline kerosin's type stuff. If they were like, she was actually the one who was doing it right. If you're going to do it the way that she did it, it was the way that you got to do it. You got to try to get your Hillary Banks on and try to move in that way and speak in that way and talk in that way. You still just can't just sound like just some ratchet chick on a cell phone doing like this on the internet and then talking about you divested. No, you just talking shit, which is okay.
They're like the militant wing of the pink pill. It's like when the black civil rights movement went militant. This is that. This is what that is basically. Like the women, they're not protesting in skirts anymore. They're protesting in fatigues and combat boots now.
But if the end goal is a white man, I don't think the fatigue and combat boots is going to work. That's why I say they're just talking shit.
Agreed. Listen,
either that or they fishing for Joe Dirt. One or the other.
I'm just here to enjoy the show. I don't need them to make total sense for me. You girls have fun. I just want you to put on a good show. Because they sound like manosphere complaints. When you tell us black women can't go on complaining about how black men are, and then when a black man literally embodies the negative complaints of how black men are, you jump to his defense on an almost national, even global scale. That makes you look crazy. So the next time you get popped in the mouth, they're going to be like, well, hey, he was just defending black women.
Yeah. Listen, what she said was spot on. It lines up with what I said. I mean, I can't even add that much to it. You describe how they are and how it's a problem. They display that problem, and then you cape for that problem. Turn them into. Remember, Obsidian used the term victim queen. They're queens. They're on top of the world. They're this, they're that, but they're still victims. Don't say nothing about them. They're a marginalized, protected group, but who run the world? Girls still. They run the world. they the bee's knees. They queen of everything. But they're still a marginalized group. It's like it makes no sense. It makes no sense, and that's more or less. I'm probably paraphrasing, not exactly how he would word it, but that's why he came up with the concept of the victim queen. That's where that concept came from, and so it plays out in many different ways. And the way that somebody will, I don't like to use the word coddle, but you can damn near say that. If somebody does something ignorant, a black man does something ignorant, the black community run into defending it on the world stage. They defend the ignorant action and behavior. I mean, it's hard to not call that coddling to some degree. And then so yeah, he was He was a perpetrator and the victim. That's how Will Smith can assault somebody on stage at the Oscars, get on stage and then cry and talk about how he has to take so much abuse. It's like
that was such a woman's play too. I tell you, like I never thought a man could pull that maneuver off.
Yeah,
like get violent and then burst out in tears and then act like the world is attacking you. That is such a narcissistic valley girl. You're like a little white girl, Will. What the hell?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can pat yourself on the back for doing that. And the last thing,
but hold on, but it's funny that they're blaming black women for it, though. That's the part that we can't. That's the funny part that we just can't skate past. They are blaming black women for it.
To say before my phone possibly starts back acting a fool is that.
Remember when I said they in the hood, in the ghetto part of the ghetto, talking shit on the cell phone.
Hey.
They've divested ideologically, which is fine, which is okay. But for all intents and purposes, they just talking shit on the cell phone. That's all they doing.
Hey, Bernard, I'll tell you a little secret. The free phones didn't stop with Obama. You can get a free tablet now.
You can get a free tablet.
Yeah, homeless people have tablets in the shelters. I kid you not, sir. I kid you not, my good friend. You can get you, what's it now? A Biden tablet. A Joe Pad.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Wow. I'm trying to look. It don't show the... never mind. I can't see the views for some reason. You can't hide views on YouTube, can you?
What, on her video?
I can't see how many views this thing got. But anyway, okay, it don't matter.
Her views are up. That one, one of them I sent you has over 7,000 views after 15 hours. The views are up on her thing.
Okay, so yeah. So I mean, she's yeah. All right, let's go.
Respectability politics argument I keep on hearing.
Uh-oh.
Is that I wanted to say before my...
They speak in your language. They criticizing respectability politics, man. These are women after your own heart. You need to go.
I told you, like, I want to like these women so badly, but principle won't let me. Like, my principles won't let me really like y'all, but I respect the movement. I throw up the fist for Black Power.
Phone possibly starts back acting a fool is that the respectability politics argument I keep on hearing. I'm sick of them claiming that anytime somebody asks you to grow the fuck up and behave like an adult, it's trying to impress Black folks. I mean, impress white folks. So anytime anyone asks you to do basic shit, like you have some home training and manners, it's respectability politics. Anytime anyone asks you to pull your pants up, it's respectability politics. Anytime somebody
let me ask you this, man, because do you think that they just like jacking for talking points?
I don't know, because this is like a relatively new direction they went in the last couple of episodes. So I don't really understand. Well, I'm not going to say it's a new direction, but something they just been hammering a lot more lately. Because low key, they if you're talking trash about the Black men for being whatever, you're kind of going to talk trash about the women that support them at some point. It kind of it's par for course. So yeah. I don't know that they're really capping. I think they just they just waiting around to get to y'all broads, and now we finally here.
I don't think necessarily that they capping. I just said that's why I said jacking for talking points. They like jacking for beats. They jacking for talk. They
I don't know, maybe because everything's laid out for them already. The playbook the script is written. Exactly. All you have to do is fill in the blanks.
Yeah, it's like when men in this space have went so hard on so many things. The groundwork was laid, whether we like it or not, whether we support it or not, whether we know about it or not. Let's just take somebody, for example, and she's completely unconnected in a completely direction from these chicks, but I'm just saying the Pink Book Lessons chick, who nobody has never seen. I don't think she's ever hopped on a panel and never did an interview with nobody. All she did is just started, editing some nice, well-edited videos and given 5 to 7 minutes of commentary of stuff that she probably heard from Kevin Samuels and a collective of other people, and she just put together a nice ass channel where, you know, fast rewind 3, 4, 5 years. Who knows what type of commentary with this particular what Pink Book Lessons talked about? But the fact of the matter is, she saw the playbook laid out. She saw the blueprint. She probably, probably watched a lot of mediocre tutorials and reviews and all, Kevin Samuels, whoever, and then like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do this. Not saying that she don't agree with what she's saying, not saying that she don't feel that way, but what I'm saying is the business model was put out before them. That's more or less what I'm saying. And once that business model gets put out there, it's like anybody could just at any time just say, that was well said. I can go over to a whole nother sector with a whole nother angle and drive those same points home to a new audience.
This is what I'm wondering. Will that parlay itself into the real world? Will you have a contingent of like sister girls who are openly against the Democrat Party?
Okay.
Because listen, if you're gonna go full white man on me, go listen. Don't half-ass this white man stuff. I need you to go full cracker.
Listen, where I'm at with it, and this is where I'm at with it. I'm just watching. I don't even want to make any predictions, but I don't know if they really truly about that life when it comes to abandoning the Democratic Party. I don't know if they truly about that life.
There are a handful. Like I could show you a video of like some Confederate flag wearing, blue-eyed, blonde hair, divestor type of woman, but she's sort of a one-off. There's always a handful of black people rocking a Confederate garb, but I don't know if it's a really major thing yet. I'm wondering if this turns into something at a certain point.
If they're rocking a Confederate flag, they're on some that's too gimmicky. That's too gimmicky, and most people not going to jump on board with it. So I can't. I don't know. I don't see it playing out. Put it like this: during the 2020 election, all right, the pre 2020 election, the Black Manosphere was pretty staunch down conservative with a few holdouts. For the most part, what gradually happened over time is that when that 2020 election came and a lot of people got Trump triggered, and then it turned into a little civil war in this space where people just was like not going where it was. So it became a hard liberal democratic sector of the Black Manosphere that basically like, so I tend to believe that their particular sector of that is going to be stronger. Where when it comes time to put the money where your mouth is, they ain't abandoning that. At least I don't see it. But it will be an interesting dynamic, because one thing that we talk about is that yes, black men are trending away from it. We would like to see black women trend away from it, but it's kind of weird that they're trending away from it on some divestment shit. It's like that's the weird.
You got to take the good with the bad, bro. Listen, I don't have to smash y'all. Just do what you do right by me, all right? You don't want to hit me. I don't want to hit you. Just do what I need you to do over there, though. I can respect that.
Yeah. Shout out to the Clue channel in the building. Says yo BR and Hood. Shout out to you. Shout out to SKC in the building. He says, don't include them with us coons. Shout out to SKC.
I know it's like you want to like them so bad, but we just can't. We got to keep that line up.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
Ask you to comb your damn hair, or don't wear your bonnet outside, or leave your pajamas at home.
Oh my goodness.
So anytime anyone asks you to do basic shit, like you have some home training and manners, it's respectability politics. Anytime anyone asks you to pull your pants up, it's respectability politics. Anytime somebody asks you to comb your damn hair or don't wear your bonnet outside or leave your pajamas at home, it's respectability politics. Anytime anybody asks you to behave like a normal human being, you're trying to impress white folks. I'm really starting to understand why people get the fuck on and leave the black community behind when they reach a certain level of success, because
Bro,
you have no
come on. Come on. Why is it that the divestors got a vindicator, bro? Like, of all people, why I gotta be vindicated by y'all? It's like, God, this is rough. Like, I finally get. I've been looking for black female support all this time, all this time, and it gotta come from the black women I can never be with. Oh, this is like a cruel joke that God is playing on me.
But here's the thing, though. I'm pretty sure you could be with them. That's the thing. I don't think that barrier for entry is high as they pretend that it is, but it's
I get what you're saying. I'm marking them off limits, but I understand what you
I
mean.
know. That's what I was going to circle it around to that. Truth be told, you don't want to. It's like if you've encountered, and you know, want to know what's crazy? I've encountered I damn near just got to say one. One of them was like, you know, borderline on the fence, you know. She liked scandal, you know, she liked to show scandal, but she didn't have no crazy rhetoric. But she was she made a few borderline comments. These are two black women that I've had sexual relationships with. One of them yeah, she literally only dated white dudes. This was a while ago. This was about 2015. You know, I don't really got. Never mind. I'm not even gonna get into my views on that. But I've dealt with a black chick that had her views, but she messed with me and was crazy about me. Like I know they're all talk. I'll just say that. I've encountered women who had similar ideologies. I know they're all talk when they start talking about all that white man stuff. I know that it's all talk. I know they'll let a dude they attracted to smash in a minute. It just is like that. That's how they end up in. That's how they end up in the situation that got them complaining. They don't exactly
early in the morning.
they don't exactly shake none of that off. So that's why I laugh and scoff at the divestment aspect of what they're doing. But the part of it where, and then we keep coming back to this, that I respect and you respect, is that there is an element of what they're doing and what they're talking about where they're speaking against the problem at large with the black community. I mean, if you strip away the worst parts of their rhetoric now, and I'm just okay. These chicks, even we're having fun with it because some people like these are the chicks that talk about calling black men bullet bags. These are some of the worst type of chicks. these are some of the worst type of chicks. So let's just keep in mind we're having fun with this thing. And when I say they're the worst type of chicks, what I think the chick that runs this channel that we're looking at here, that wasn't the chick that was talking, but the chick that run this channel, her thumbnail should be a thumbnail that, I mean, I'm not trying to tell anybody go flag nothing, but it's a thumbnail that I'm shocked that they let stay up. It's a man hanging from a tree, and on the other branch of the tree, it's a woman on a swing. Long story short, it's a black man hanging from a tree, and it's a black woman on the swing, just wee. Wow, so these are the worst type of chicks. All right, these are, and I feel bad now that the women that I've had sex with that I associated with them, they would never go that far. They would never do that.
You don't know that.
I feel
we
bad
like
that
to
I
tell
associate
ourselves the best things about the women we've been with.
I feel bad that I associated them with these women. These are the worst types. But the gleam of hope in what they're doing is that they are seeing what's wrong with the black community, whatever. And I come to find out that and they give women the proper amount of blame in it. black women a proper amount of blame in it. That's the part I didn't know. That's the part I didn't know. That's an interesting dynamic with all of this. That's all I'm. That's yeah.
Choice, because these are some seriously sick ass people who think that having a modicum of self-respect and decorum translates into trying to impress white people.
Right.
But we're the ghetto ones though. Oh, okay.
No, I'm dead serious. That shit is crazy. I was just throwing a little amen in there because you preaching around this bitch.
Yeah, but we're the ghetto
Okay.
ones though. That's okay.
Those sound like some divested women. I'm just throwing a little bit of an amen in there because you preaching around this bitch. Like,
No,
do these sound
sounds
like women who mess with white men regularly? That's the part that's funny to me. Hold on, put it like this. That to me, what I see right there, I see a dude, sagging his pants, got some
You see
purplish
Pookie
black.
in your head too, right? I'm trying to think of a Pookie relation. You like Pookie's ex-girlfriend. All of y'all are Pookie's ex-girl.
I know, but it's worse than that. It's Pookie sitting there, pants hanging off his ass with some purplish black weed smoking lips, talking about some, yeah, man, I think it's time to divest from the community and shit. It's like, no, nigga, you still you are the community.
It's like a Boondocks episode. Like, how come the Boondocks couldn't be around to cover Divestors, bro?
like you are the thing that everybody else in the community is trying to get away from. But you sitting there, I think it's time to definitely know. Man, come on.
No matter where you go, there you are. That's it.
Hey, I'll be that. But what you wouldn't have caught me doing was jumping up on the 94th Oscars, walking across a stage to slap somebody across their face because they said, hey, G.I. Jane 2, I'm here for it. Because my wife shaved her head. Oh, she had alopecia. So that was, but what he said was slap worthy, I guess, And
why do these have to be the black women that agree with us? I can't shake it. All right.
then they're gonna take that and run with that and say, "Oh, well, you're caping for Chris Rock." No, the fuck, I'm not. I'm calling Will out on his bullshit. Unlike a lot of you other stupid hoes, that's what it is. You don't know how to hold black men accountable for any fucking thing.
Thank you. God.
And that's the problem. So I guess I'm done.
I didn't know that he. Let me tell y'all right now. We've been talking about this shit since Sunday. That here's the funeral for the shit. You won't hear me mention it a goddamn again. Not up here, you won't. I have not seen black people talk about the potential of World War III that we were on like this. We are a group of nuts and unstable ass individuals. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? 5 days, usually when something happens, it's over within the next 48 hours. I mean, it's done. They move on to the next so-called catastrophe. But because black women are not protected, right? We talking about this shit for 5 fucking days. I've never seen anything like it on all my days on the goddamn internet. Ebony, can you think of another event that black people talked about for 5 days consecutively? Because I'm finna have a funeral for this shit tonight.
No.
These are all valid points, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I can't fault her on that because I get tired of getting caught up in like black celebrity pop culture too. I think it's silly.
Yeah, part of it is the YouTube game. There's a lot of people who built their YouTube channels off of that. Like it's a dude who he wasn't really getting that many. He had a bunch of subs, but he wasn't really getting no views. And then for whatever reason, that Will Smith thing, he went live and got 3,000 every time. And then now that the Will Smith thing is over, he can go live and get 300 to 400 people in there. So
that's the game.
If you got 300 to 400 people in there regularly, it's just YouTube can become your job. Trust me, I know. So, so yeah, careers were made off that Will Smith shit.
Like this, but I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm not surprised. Anything the black male does, they will come up with some type of excuse for his behavior. Now, if you have to constantly come up with excuses,
See, now again, I don't watch that much of their stuff, but they saying anything that the black male does, they will come up with an excuse for his behavior. Um, okay, true, but black women get more of that excuse for the behavior than black men. The black man go too damn far, his ass is locked up. It's like, I mean, there's a cap on what black men can do when it comes to black men just completely cutting up.
Yeah, she's talking about something slightly different. I
Okay.
think she frames it in a clumsy way. We call them son husbands, and she literally inverted it and called it a husband son. But that's kind of what I think she's alluding to right now. How
Oh, okay.
black women will cover for their criminal sons. My baby didn't do nothing.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I must have missed the context of what she was talking about. But no, in that sense, yeah, no, that is true. That is true. The didn't do, he didn't do nothing. I mean, that's again, they're properly pointing out the problems in the black community, which I point out on my show with you. Your whole show is damn near dedicated to pointing out how J Rock could be caught guilty, dead to rights, got caught climbing through somebody's window, um, got shot coming through somebody's window, or got arrested, got arrested afterwards. The whole, they rocking a free J Rock t-shirt, and you know damn well that J Rock was guilty as hell. But they out there with their free talking about some free J Rock on it, got it on a t-shirt. It's like the man was guilty, but that's the stuff that we do. That's the stuff that we do. He didn't do nothing. He was a good kid. He never bothered nobody. He did. Yeah, that's the stuff
He
that we
was just
do.
about to
And
turn his life around. That's my favorite one. I swear that's my favorite one out of all of them. He was just about to turn his life around. He just enrolled in a community college 2 weeks ago. Like this,
yeah,
they always come up with that last little bit of saving grace. There's
yeah,
actually a shooting in the news right now. By the way, I think two. There's one in Detroit. A guy was like fighting the cop for a taser and he got a headshot. And I think
yeah. I
somebody
saw that one.
grandmama just got shot too. Like I could kid you not, somebody grandmama. I didn't really get a chance to investigate, but I think stuff's about to go down.
Yeah, Roland Martin played the clip of the guy that got shot in the head. And listen, I used to talk about that. I may get back into it, but it's I don't. I'm not even about to get. I don't even want to get into it because what's the protocol when a cop is in a damn MMA wrestling match on the ground with a dude who trying to take his taser? I don't know
Just the frustration in your face and in your soul right now is just like I feel you, bro. I know, because like, what do you do with this conversation when nobody wants to acknowledge those basic, simple realities?
And I heard somebody. I forgot why he got pulled over, but somebody after he got shot, I heard somebody. This was somebody on Roland Martin, a very intelligent looking, well spoken, eloquent,
Big glasses.
Ivy League. I can't remember. No, he was somebody I never seen before. I don't think he had glasses. Ivy League educated type of brother was on there, and he said something like, over over a broken tail light. And let's just say hypothetically, that's why he initially got pulled over. I'm like, it wasn't over a broken tail light. It was because they were in a goddamn MMA wrestling match on the ground, and they were fighting over the taser. Like that's what like that that's why the shooting, like they're acting like they will analyze it like somebody just saw him broken tail, like pulled up, pow pow. Like no, like it was a series of events that happened, and that's the part that frustrate me. I mean, I can understand that. Okay, listen, I don't know the protocol. Perhaps he didn't need to shoot him. Perhaps, but I'm just trying to. What am I going to do? Because I mean, you can see on the video, like if this is the taser, both of their hands was on it, fighting for it. If the cop lose that fight and get tased, it's. who's to say the dude gonna? I don't know.
I tell you what, this will probably make you feel better. And I've been thinking about doing this just for my own show. I want to take some clips of the Divestors talking about black crime and just do little standalone short clips because it'll make you feel better. At least you know there are some black people out here who are holding the line. I mean, even if it is the Divestors, bro. They're like the one element of the black YouTube or black women in YouTube that are actually being honest about black crime.
And this is why I stopped doing those type of videos, because I just get frustrated with comments like this, because I don't want to be the white cop's defense attorney. But he's like,
no, listen, we got a whole bunch of black women willing to play the role. And so I'm trying to tell you, they have stepped up to the plate. They have stepped up to the plate. They clearly not like, you know, a black woman who's white on the inside. No, they Keisha on the inside and on the outside. And they're going to be the white man's defense force. Like, let them take up the cause, bro. All we need to do is do some cuts and edits.
Okay. Amanda Media. Okay. Would this happen to a white guy? 50% of the people that police officers shoot are white. Those videos exist. You can look them up. You can find them. They are just as bad. They are just as egregious. They are just as, I understand that shooting. Like, I watched them. I've watched them. I've sat there and watched them and had the equal amount of goddamn, why he didn't have to shoot him, or like goddamn, he should have shot him 5 minutes ago. It's the same level of it. I mean, those videos exist. They just don't go as viral. That's just all to it. And see a video of a white dude, not cooperating, and then don't want to get arrested, and then he get into a wrestling match and he tussle around with the police, and then the police shoot him in the midst of the scuffle. When that happens, it does not go viral. But it happens.
I think in the black mind, white people getting shot by the cops is like a form of reparations. So, they just happy to have it. They don't even think about it.
He just hit me back with the lies. Okay, I got into and this is part of the reason why I just stopped covering this kind of stuff, because I got into an argument with somebody on this. We was going at it pretty tough, and I collected the videos, and I was about to do basically a montage of it, and then when I start feeling like the white police officer's defense attorney, when I start feeling like the white man's defense attorney, I was really just trying to make a point. But I start feeling like the white man's defense attorney. I said, you know what? I'm just done covering police shootings. I just tapped out. I tapped out. I'm not doing it.
Bernard, when I first started up my YouTube channel, especially when I first started live streaming stuff, I used to give you a lot of shout outs because my channel was kind of born from what you just described. I got into arguments. I got into knockdown dragouts. I went from like show to show to show. I got called out by name in different panels, all kind of stuff over like disagreements over this kind of thing. And I think like you said, you just didn't want to. And for me, it like, you back me into a corner kind of deal. So I'm like, no, we're gonna lean into it now. All right, let's have the fight. And that's how I approached it. Let's really peel back the surface and look at the stuff nobody wants to talk about. And from here, my channel was born. But I take a little bit of ironic pleasure in the fact that, for Mr. Amadi Media, it's not me. You're gonna have to deal with a horde of black women who are not buying your racism bullshit no more, bro. I am not trying to pick a fight with you, my dude.
That's gonna be the funny part, is that when he says stuff like what he's saying right now, it's gonna be black women calling him on his bullshit. That's gonna be the true funny part.
And you're gonna be disarmed in their face. You're gonna have nothing to fight back with.
And one of those funny is that's the same person who probably, I mean, I don't know, I don't know Amadi. I'm getting his name right here. I think I said Amadi or Amadi Media. I don't know. I can barely see it because I'm not looking at the laptop that I got in front of me, just so I won't have a problem straining my eyes trying to see a screen that's far away. But I don't know that much about him. I have spoken to him, but I don't know that much about him. But I tend to believe he's one of the ones who be on that, protect the black woman, protect the protect the black woman type of energy, and they're basically gonna be saying that they're gonna. It's getting to that point where they're going to be hitting you back with arguments that me or hood conservative might make when you're going to fly in with the cape on, and it's going to be like, fuck your cape, nigga. So, like that's what it's going to come down to.
Listen, I'm gonna say it right now. I've been saying this a little bit lately, and I want you guys to understand me. When you listen to women like this talk, respect my misogyny, bro. I know what I'm talking about.
All right, let's roll a little bit more of this. I think it's probably at the part where I didn't where I saw all I need to see.
Yeah, I got another
behavior. Maybe you.
No, I was saying I got the next video queued up at a good moment too.
All right, if you got the next one queued up at a good moment, because I don't even want to do too much more of this.
No, because the next one is good.
Okay, we'll do that. I can't deal with this irony, man. It's eating away at me. It's eating away at me.
You should talk about something that's real, something that matters, like black women dropping. Okay.
Dropping.
Another thing, black children hungry. Oh, another thing about black children not being supported. Oh, another thing, how black children's achievement scores are so low. Talk about that shit. Talk about that. But no, you don't. See, black people like to ambulance chase. They talk about lawyers like to do that, but no, black people like to ambulance chase. They like the trauma, the drama, the crazy. They like these little dog fights that go on. That's what they'll pay attention to. That is what is wrong with the community, or however you guys say it. That's what's wrong.
That's what I say, man. They jacking for talking points, man.
Yeah, you can tell they listen. You can tell they listen, and I respect it. I respect it. I'm not even mad. Do what you're gonna do, ladies.
All right. So you said you got another one that you're about to queue up. You got it ready to go? Because I don't got it.
Yeah, I got it ready. We can start. Let me just pull up the share screen. 1 sec.
I don't got no coffee nowhere near me, so I gotta go grab that real quick. I'll be right back while you I don't know, talk to them about nothing while I go grab my coffee cup.
Gotcha. But like I was saying, guys, this whole thing is so bizarre. And there's a clip we're gonna pull up because we're gonna sort of change the tone slightly after this next clip. But down the line, I want to have a conversation based on the clip I'm going to play for you guys, where I have a therapist, a black female therapist, and she's a relationship therapist, and she revealed some personal feelings that came up during the course of her work, and she admitted on camera, this is a TikTok, this is the whole purpose of her video, was to admit this, but she admitted that she has a hard time truly seeing or humanizing black men and seeing them as full, complete human beings deserving of empathy and love. And, to come from a quote medical professional or psychological professional rather, and then to also be, a therapist, you're doing relationship therapy, and to admit that you have a hard time humanizing, the black men, it only kind of reinforces my general and my general dislike of that whole institution of psychology and therapy and all that. And it also kind of reinforces for me, and I think it'll highlight when you play the video, it'll kind of reinforce for you guys, this idea of a gender war has nothing to do with black men saying mean words to black women across YouTube. The idea of the gender war has nothing to do with, black women telling black women telling black men that, you ain't shit and all that. That's not the gender war. The gender war is women in their professional lives, from their social platforms, moving the needle in a direction that never benefits you as the black man. That's the true gender war. And so later on, we'll get to this clip, but can you consider the possibility that the trained professionals here to help you don't care for you at all as a black man? That's a reality that we kind of have to consider. And we'll get to that down the line, but I see you back now. Are we ready to let me set up this share screen for you?
Yeah.
Now, you want to still do that thing where you hide the main image and just do the audio?
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right.
They harass the police, they harass the sheriff's department enough to the point that they won't even describe them anymore in the media. But you know what? This is the big hammer of the law.
Now, listen. Shout out to actually, matter of fact, rest in peace, Colin Flaherty. He is a old white guy who years ago, when I first discovered YouTube and I saw his channel, he covered black crime and that particular phenomena of right now, like the shooter in New York City. Everyone wanted him to be white, but once we realized he was black, they're burying the story. Now that phenomena. Really? Oh yeah, like, come on, there's 13 people shot on the subway. The guy's alive. He turned himself and he called the police on himself. Like, this is a retarded story, and it just never stayed in the media but for 2 days. If this had been a white man, again, let's play that game. Had this been a white man, we'd still be talking about him.
Okay. I'm suffering from modernity in that I don't be like watching the news no more. I be watching the internet, and I got to get out of that because the internet. I need to put my phone on incognito or something, because when you're getting your news from the internet, they sending you specific stuff. So we know how that works. We know how algorithms work.
Filtered news.
And so in my mind, this story kind of died down. I meant to say in my mind, the story didn't die down. But so it's like are you saying like the mainstream news coverage was like on it? We got to get this guy. We got to find the shooter. Blah 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 blah. Shooter. Blah 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 blah. They found out he was black, and then they just sort of announced it and then moved on. Are you saying that literally happened?
Yes. Let me put it to you in these terms. Black people have this general understanding that the mass shooter phenomena is a white boy thing.
It is.
But statistically, by the definitions, black people
get out of there.
Black people commit mass shootings all the damn time, but the news doesn't put it to you that way. The news will have you thinking, like you just said, the mass shooter thing is a white boy thing.
Because it is, and it ain't. What I mean by that,
how can a thing be?
it is, but it ain't.
Okay, do it.
Okay. The definition of a mass shooter is to shoot, is it 3 or more people at one time?
3 to 4. The definition is roughly 3 to 4, depending on where you look.
3 to 4 or more. Okay. Now, when we think mass shooter, we're thinking about somebody who went and dressed up like like a Batman villain and went to, a Target and just opened fire on everybody in there. That's what we think about when we think about a mass shooter. When that type of thing happens, 3 to 4 or more get shot. By definition, mass shooter. He didn't have a particular beef or vendetta with any particular individual that he went to kill. He just went to just open fire on the crowd. Okay. That's what we define as a mass shooter. Now that 3 to 4 people, that happens in the hood, but not in the same way. They don't go put on a damn Jason mask and shoot up Walmart. No, they will have a particular beef with a particular individual, and they will go ride on that particular individual. And because he's shooting with it cocked to the side, all like that, he didn't hit 3 to 4 people and didn't even touch the person he wanted to shoot. So by definition, that becomes a mass shooter, but he didn't do it for the same motivations of what we call a mass shooter, but he did shoot a massive amount of people. You see, so
God, stop. Just stop, bro. Just stop. I'll let you get it out, but just stop. No, you can't. It's like we're trying to talk, I'm trying to talk numbers and you're talking motivations and emotions. Like, no,
it's true.
It can't be. It can't be this way, man.
I saw a printout of, it might have been SKC that sent it to me, of everybody who committed a mass shooting, and it was like infinitely more black people on that. They just showed the mugshot of everybody. Way more black people on there. However, it's when it I understand where you're coming from, and I agree with you. That the people, the people in the hood who, when they get mad at one individual and they start trying to shoot that individual and they shoot 3 or 4 other people, that person they should be looked at as every bit of a domestic terrorist as the person who who dressed up like a Batman villain and went and just, shot into a crowd on a college campus. He should be looked at the same way, but they don't look at him the same way. I'll just say that, and it is that's what I said. It is, but it ain't. But
it's like no. When white boys do mass shooting, it's because they're hateful and crazy. But when black people do mass shootings, it's just business.
No, I didn't say it was just business.
That's the argument, essentially, though. It's like you're framing one in a more positive light for some reason. I don't understand.
It's not positive. It's not
more acceptable, more understandable, more logical. Yeah, because you were making the white boy like an antisocial shooter versus the black person like he had beef. The white boy just hated the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he did. Okay.
So fucking what?
J-Rock didn't write a manifesto before he went and shot Nuck Nuck on the block.
J-Rock can't read, nigga. You see why I'm like, it don't matter. The numbers are the numbers, man. Let the numbers be. We're gonna be arguing about the story forever.
It's the manifesto that makes it crazy. He stepped on his Jordans. That's okay. They had to shoot him. You don't write a manifesto after somebody step on your Jordans. Now, if you write a manifesto about it and then go shoot a bunch of people, then you're crazy. All right, I'm playing. All right. Okay. All right, man.
All right, let me get this clip back.
Walk away from this one.
It's going to come down, and it's going to come down hard. See, when they came up with that crime bill in 1993, this was like in the towards the height of the crack epidemic, right? What's her face called them super predators, but they were. They were super predators.
About that shit when
they were mad as hell. Okay. Oh, super predators. But that's what they were. That's what they were. People with no feeling, no empathy, nothing. I got to get what I want to get. That's a 3-year-old.
I got to tell you, I never hear melanated women speak this way. It's almost refreshing. If y'all wasn't crazy.
That is a 3-year-old. We have a lot of Black males out here acting like 3-year-olds, and people the worst thing you can do with a toddler is laugh at what they do.
Yes.
The worst thing you can do with a toddler is to not show them where their boundaries are. Now, before it was Jim Crow, they had a lot of hard boundaries, didn't they? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so unfortunately, Jim Crow affects my butt, and I ain't doing shit. So we did away with the Jim Crow. Okay, we did away with Jim Crow. Now
she said Jim Crow affects her, and she ain't did nothing.
What does she mean by Jim Crow?
Did you notice though? After 1970, we had a serious.
Hold on, all right. I'm not totally sure. I just think as Black people, the crimes of the few make us all look bad.
Okay, all right. Just roll it. I haven't heard. I don't think I heard. Go ahead.
African American community with drugs. And I'm talking heroin, other hard stuff.
Yes.
And then
Facts.
the crack epidemic came and they blamed it on the fucking CIA. Okay, all right. And so I would always tell those people, all right, I don't care if the CIA took millions of dollars worth of crack rocks and put them in the middle of the intersection. The responsibility rested upon your ass to leave it
Exactly.
alone.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I agree with that part.
Yeah, no,
Don't
like I
you-
said, they sound very
Yeah.
much like the Manosphere here. And it blows me away. It's certain things they say. It's like, yeah, well, I got to give you that one. Begrudgingly, I got to give you that.
They've been jacking for talking points. They've been sitting in the clouds, probably hating us, but listening. But then said, start stroking their beards. Assume they got start stroking their beards. Like, we could work with that and turn that point right there and work it into our divestment content and rhetoric, and use this as our this is more reason to divest from the community. Like, so.
Mhm.
That's more or less what happened. But again, they're saying a lot of stuff that we've said. The people who say they used to drop off. I can hear some background or something, but no, I actually can hear the audio of the whatever what we was just listening to. But it was but yeah, that whole thing. I've had those arguments on my show. they used to drop off guns in the community. That's why all that shooting going on. They used to drop off boxes of guns on street corners. Yet you didn't have to pick up those guns and shoot a black person. Assuming that that's true, that they did drop off guns on street corners, you didn't have to pick up those guns and shoot a black person. It's like, so yeah. I mean, you can go. You have more of that to roll. Oh, you muted.
Yeah, no, I had to mute myself, kind of scanning through that clip. But no, we're pretty much done with that. I wanted to actually pull up something a little bit different. The clip I was talking about earlier, this therapist piece is crazy, and I think we should let's just analyze it together on air. I'm going to share the screen.
Okay,
Right?
I think I know what you're talking about. Somebody sent me. Okay, yeah, somebody sent me that, and I ignored it. I should have watched it, but we're doing it now. So come on, let's see. And I'm officially on Twitter now. I gotta drop my Twitter. Start dropping my Twitter.
Oh, you on Twitter? Oh, bro, listen, Black Twitter is so crazy. It's like the worst parts of YouTube filtered into like a condensed place. It's nuts, man. Especially like the Twitter Spaces. Oh, you're gonna love Twitter Spaces, man.
Yeah. I'm giving Twitter a go. But anyway, because I actually, the little bit of time I was on there, and maybe I need to follow some of the stuff you follow. A little bit of time I was on there, it seemed like somewhere where I can actually like go and I ain't gonna get too much into it, but yeah, I don't like Instagram and all that other junk too much. But I don't know. I'll see how Twitter works out. But either way it go. Let's go ahead and roll it.
I scan Twitter for like videos like this because like it's a great place to source videos really quickly, especially with like a current event just happened. People have a habit of just posting things on Twitter, and you might be able to use it later on. But like, let's get into this clip real quick.
All right.
Here's this thing that I've noticed. So I'm a therapist, licensed psychologist. I work with women, primarily Black women, and I work with a handful of couples. Couple revelations. I haven't seen any of my couples this week. And I realized that my energy at the end of the week was different, notably different. And I connected it to the fact that it's because I'm not seeing the couples. And the couples that I'm currently working with are all heterosexual couples. And the emotional labor for me to see the men in the relationship as full, whole human beings who are deserving of love and empathy is sometimes overwhelming because of the way that I see them engage with their women partners and the way that I see the women partners overcompensate for their male partners' lack of empathy, lack of.
Now that right there, before we get too much further, that's what I was talking about. This
Wait, hold on,
idea
real quick. Hold on, wait, real time on. I put super chats on the screen, but then I don't even read them. But see, he talking about killing a white girl. We can't leave it up there too much longer. But shout out to Wes M. He says, dude killed a white girl because she turned him down. He shot up the car filled with people. That's a mass shooting. I see. I have no idea what you're talking about. Do you know what he's referring to?
No, but it sounds about right.
Yeah, those are people. We don't view them as mass shootings. If you wanted to shoot Tony, and Tony just happened to be in the car with Rick, Rob, and somebody's baby, and Rick, Rob, and the baby get shot, but Tony don't get shot. That's 3 people. That meets the criteria of mass shooting. We don't call it a mass shooting. But it is a mass shooting. So that is an interesting. Have you done direct content on that? I'm sure you have. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's been a little while now, but I've covered that kind of thing once or twice at least. Because like that picture you were talking about with the mass shooters, it's actually a thing done by year, and I pulled up like at least 3 different years worth of that picture, and it's almost the same thing for a couple of years now. So I've covered it. It's not a funny thing to cover though. I try to cover stuff that I can laugh at a little bit easier.
Yeah, I think people lump it in, and just this is me spitballing here. And we'll get back to this. But a thought popped in my head, so I want to explore it. Now, far as I know, it is statistically true that Black people are maybe we need to check the definition on this, but we are less likely to be serial killers. That is a white man's thing. Is that accurate, far as what you know?
I'm not gonna hold myself to the less likely, but boy, you should look at the Black serial killer numbers. We have some dudes be putting up football numbers worth of dead hookers, bro. Oh my God, you do not want to look at that.
Yeah, you see, I've heard a lot of reputable people make the point that being a serial killer is mostly white male, and that vigilante mad at the world shootings, white male. Those are normally white male crimes, and but it's when you man, you got me thinking. We gotta review definitions of some of this stuff, because it may not be as cut and dry as people saying.
Again, that clip she played, that you actually played it when the lady said, the Divestor lady said, Black women have lobbied and protested the news media to the point where they don't even report the crimes any longer. This is true. This has consequences on a psychological level. We just don't know that this is the reality, and we operate as if reality is different. We operate as if the white man is out there just, massacring people, which, that does happen from time to time. But from the Black point of view, you're way less likely to encounter a white mass murderer.
All right. Let's get
Right.
let's
get back to this clip.
Back it up like 10 seconds so we can make sure we properly lead into where we was going. Yeah.
Already did. Let's go.
All right.
So I'm a therapist, licensed psychologist. I work with women, primarily Black women, and I work with a handful of couples. Couple revelations. I haven't seen any of my couples this week. And I realized that my energy at the end of the week was different, notably different. And I connected it to the fact that it's because I'm not seeing the couples. And the couples that I'm currently working with are all heterosexual couples. And the emotional labor for me to see the men in the relationship as full, whole human beings who are deserving of love and empathy.
How common of a problem do you suppose that is?
Let me hear her say that again. Just back up 5 seconds.
And the emotional labor for me to see the men in the relationship as full, whole human beings who are to see the men in the relationship as full, whole human beings who are deserving of love and empathy. To see the men in the relationship as full, whole human beings who are deserving of love and empathy.
How common of a problem do you suppose that is when you talk to Black women? And before you answer, let me say this. I noticed a show recently. I think it's called the We Need to Talk channel, and doing really good conversations, just one-on-one question and answer conversations with Black women. And this is something I do in my personal life. Just talk to women and ask them like what happened? All right, what do you think? Like, without trying to like judge them and, pick a fight or nothing, and listen to them explain reality from their perspective. It will shock you how they really see you, how they think about you, how they process reality in relation to you. I don't know that most guys really consider that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, how common of a phenomenon do you think that is where Black women don't really see you as fully human?
Well, man, it's a lot of places I could go with that one. There's a lot of, I'm trying to not go all the way there. However, it's like, I'll use this example. This example is not even involving a Black woman. It's something that I've talked about before, where, and I'm relating it to this because like this is a situation where this woman is a therapist and she's sitting there in a chair and there's a couple across from her on a couch. Okay, she's talking to them and she's struggling to see the man as somebody who's a human who needs empathy and blah 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 blah. Okay. The one situation where I could relate where something was similar to that is the situation that I've talked to about before, when me and the ex-wife was meeting in front of the arbitrator, and she's talking to us and she's interviewing us and she's asking us questions. And I know I'm telling the truth. I know the truth is coming out of my mouth, and I know this is why I was hesitant to get into this, but I know the person sitting next to me is not telling the truth. But I can just see I'm looking at looking at my ex-wife, and I'm looking at the person sitting across from us, the arbitrator, and I could just see the concern in her eyes. Like I could just see it in her eyes that she was connecting at an emotional and even a spiritual level with what my ex-wife was saying. And then when I was talking, I could see her. She just put on her full, she put on her full profession. Damn it! Put on her full professional data finding hat. Okay, you said what? You said 1 + 1 is 2. Okay, sure. All right, got it. Went back to talk to my wife, and then it's like I could see her hand reaching across. It was like she was holding her hand across from.
She's listening with her heart.
Yeah, she was listening with her heart. But with me, it was
she was listening for data.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Whatever, nigga. I figured. Okay. Yeah. All right. And I was like, that's what it was like. So I experienced. Hold on. Wait. Where we at? Nope, not there. There. Okay. I experienced it. I know. I was on the receiving end of what she's talking about. I was on the receiving end of that.
I was asked to go to couples therapy once, and I refused for that very reason. Not that I knew for a fact, like I knew this video, because this is like over 10 years ago by now, but I instinctually felt like I was walking into a trap. And so I was like, no. You're not going to get me a room with this lady. Hell no. We're going to work this stuff out right here on this couch.
Yeah, man. But all right.
Is sometimes overwhelming because of the way that I see them engage with their women partners and the way that I see the women partners overcompensate for their male partners' lack of empathy, lack of compassion, lack of emotional intelligence, lack of responsiveness, lack of accountability.
What is emotional intelligence really? Because I've heard this phrase thrown around, and I tend to just disregard it offhand. Like, no, it's just a made up concept that you use to like psychologically wear me down, but it's really not a thing.
The way I've heard it used in a way that makes sense, and I'll explain it like this: you have, based off the way that I've heard it used responsibly, you have good emotional intelligence. It's a lack of emotional intelligence if you let's just say, let's go back to J-Rock climbing through somebody's window and J-Rock got shot. Okay, you J-Rock's cousin, you're hurt that your cousin J-Rock, who you grew up with, who you shared a bowl of cereal with back at TT house, you're sad that J-Rock got shot, but you understand that y'all can't go out there with y'all can't go out there with pitchforks and tiki torches wearing free J-Rock t-shirts or go, you understand J-Rock was guilty and he got what he had coming. So you just got to be sad that J-Rock is gone and mourn in silence and not go burn down the police station and start a whole BLM protest and riot. You have the emotional intelligence. That's what they call emotional intelligence. Somebody
that's what they call it. I suspect. All right,
they abuse it. They abuse it. They abuse it. But
trigger warning.
That is what it's supposed to be. Somebody who can be in a situation where their emotions should be heightened, but they still maintaining logic and can analyze it and say, I gotta pull back. That's what it's supposed to be.
I think I understand what you're trying to say. I disagree with that definition as it's used, because I think what really has happened. Yeah, sure. Let's get a more official explanation, I guess. But what I think has happened, this is me, just putting my spin on it, trigger warning. Emotional intelligence is sort of a phrase that was concocted to give women an air of greater intelligence.
That go back to what I said. They abuse it. That's the abuse of it.
Yeah, seriously, it's as simple as that, because it's a measurable thing that male IQs are relatively higher than females. Generally, like the way it's described is that the male IQs tend to cluster at the ends of the spectrum. So we got a lot of guys who are really dumb, but also a ton of guys who are just insanely Elon Musk type smart.
Yeah.
Whereas women, we really just have a lot of women who are relatively in the middle, and we have a few women who are really stupid and a few women who are insanely smart. Actually, an exceedingly few amount of women who are insanely smart.
Could that be? Could that have something to do with why when they adjusted education and made it a little more easier, everybody under the tent, then it just opened up for more of those women in that middle to
they didn't adjust education, they dumbed it down, and women got smarter. That's what I meant by adjust. That's how women got smarter, by dumbing down the educational process. Like, and I'm being facetious, but still in a way that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. You described it perfectly. I mean, we was talking a little bit about, well, somebody had a bell curve of racism yesterday, but not yesterday, but on the last show.
Last week.
But no, what you described is, that's the IQ of bell curve for women. They don't have as many geniuses on the far end. They don't have as many dummies on the other far end of it, but they got it's more of them that have, just good, normal intelligence in the middle. Whereas, yeah, you said it perfectly. With men, it's a lot more geniuses over here, but a lot more complete utter morons over here, and then less in the middle. So it's a weird thing. It creates for interesting relationship dynamics. This ain't the show today, but interesting relationship dynamics for the people in the middle. If on average the woman might have a slightly higher IQ for those in the middle, but that's getting deep down the rabbit hole with it.
I
But
wouldn't even know how to. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to parse that out. You got to watch that and play it out. You need experiments or something to figure that one out.
Exactly. Emotional intelligence. No, I was going to read the definition of emotional intelligence. Sure. Reads is emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with us. I'm using reading the screen far away. Empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. That's what they're using emotional intelligence as. So I don't even think the way that I've heard people use it fully fits, because that's how I've been using it. But it's so much in that definition. They could go a lot of places with that. I mean,
right. Here's the problem. Someone in the chat, Woke Quill in the chat, just says, how do I get my emotional intelligence score? And what he's alluding to is the fact that IQ can be measured to some degree. Maybe it's not, we don't have a perfect system, but we can do a rough measure to know that, this person has accumulated significantly more knowledge than that person. We have basic understandings of that, where how can you give a metric to emotion?
Yeah, you can't.
It's a stupid concept to even put it this way. So it's like giving your feelings numbers. That's what emotional intelligence really relates to. It's emotional is a feeling and intelligence is a fucking number, and they don't belong together. But that's my rant. I just like people use these little words, and it's like, because like you just said, like I don't think that what you called emotional intelligence in me, I think it's really more self-awareness. And so I analyze intensely sometimes, and I try to turn things around and look at them from both angles and do the whole twist it around like a Rubik's Cube in my mind and see what works and what doesn't. And that's a process, though. That's something that you can probably measure. How do you measure people's feelings wandering from one emotion to another? This is like these concepts. And it's like you're a professional throwing around concepts that don't have hard lines and definable edges. I take really insanely offense to that kind of thing.
No, agreed.
Right, let's continue.
Accountability. It's exhausting. Women who are in loving, intimate relationships with cishet men are doing a lot of emotional labor, in addition to a lot of additional domestic labor, especially if there's a marriage and households. The math ain't mathing in these relationships. And sometimes the responsibility for me as a therapist to be objective and to hold the space of serving the couple is effort, because I really, really want to talk to the men and help build the men's emotional intelligence and the men's capacity for emotional discomfort. And
you see why I take issue with this type of language and how she wants me to get comfortable with her making me uncomfortable. What kind of no? How about no to everything?
Well, in her mind, the reason she's saying that is because she's empathizing with the woman, and she's feeling what the woman is going through, and so it's like the woman is already uncomfortable. So she thinks she has to try to get the man uncomfortable because he's not doing the work of being uncomfortable. But maybe it's the woman's lack of emotional intelligence that has her emotions all over the place, to where she's emotionally burnt out and doing all this emotional labor that the chick is talking about. Maybe just women are just too damn emotional. I mean,
Well, I want to ask a question, and this is why I like what you do with that panel where you have a few ladies on, and you just ask questions and talk. Because I would love to ask women this kind of question: are Black men just difficult to love? Because that's what I'm hearing from you, from this therapist lady, from your opinion on the perch, dealing with all these relationships that have come and gone. This is your opinion now over your X amount of years working with couples that, it just looks like Black women are just working so hard trying to love you, stupid niggas.
Yeah, man. It's that's almost I get where you're going. I mean, I haven't seen this clip, so I don't know what else she's going to say here. I don't know what
No, we're
else
at
she's
the
going to
end.
say.
That's
Oh,
it.
at
The
the end.
men's ability to regulate the
Yeah, I got to pull up her full TikTok. Actually, I think I got her TikTok queued up somewhere here, but the clip is a little bit longer than that.
It sounded like she was saying that the woman is in therapy, just spilling her heart out, and the guy is just like laid back, like yeah, just, with a whatever attitude. And it sounds like that's what she's saying. Like my interpretation, and I could be wrong, but it sounds like she's basically wanting men to be more like women. She's saying that these men are not coming in here, they're not crying on the couch, they're not being emotional, they don't got a lot of stuff that they got to get off their chest, and that's why she used that term, another hard to define term, emotional labor in a relationship. Like I don't know what that means.
I
I
don't
don't.
either.
Now, when I hear somebody talking about emotional labor, who's doing the most emotional labor? What I'm hearing is which person is probably excuse me, which person is probably whining and complaining the most over things that can kind of get set aside and let go of. That's what I'm hearing. That's sort of what I'm hearing. If she's probably taken what could very well be the woman's nagging, complaining, or just how a lot of women, once they get deep off into a marriage or a relationship, they find themselves unhappy, bored, and they who knows? It's a number of fluctuating things that could be going on in a woman's brain, in a woman's mind, in a woman's emotions. A woman who's she's had kids, she's turned into a completely different person from what she was at 25 to what she is right now at 33, and she's dealing with that. But that man is still a man, and he's still acting like a man and being his normal self. But she's doing so much emotional labor. No, she's just an emotional train wreck. She probably need to just go do some individual therapy to just get herself worked out to where she's not so where she's not just so emotionally volatile. I think that's what they're talking about. They're talking about the emotional roller coaster that women go through because they are the most emotionally volatile of the two people. And not a man who's emotionally volatile, you really don't want that, because emotional volatility and high testosterone does not go well together. So you don't want a guy to be like that. You don't want that. Yeah, I know how that turns out. Go ahead.
Let me give the quote asshole's opinion. Now, what I think is really happening here, I've noticed women have this almost like reflexive nature to oversell, overstate, and overvalue themselves. So when you ask what a woman does in a relationship, emotional labor is a great placeholder for all that time you spend around thinking about who he might be fucking and why he not calling you back. Like, so the man's role in a relationship consists of a lot of static things that you actually have to do in the real world, whereas for a lot of women their role in a relationship is like it's mental.
Yeah.
Like your mental process doesn't equate to like me actually driving you around or me actually putting money on the table. Like my relationship labor is immensely more valuable than your emotional labor.
Mm.
Yeah, as I said, it's the asshole's opinion. I'm just throwing it out there.
No,
Y'all chicks be
wasn't.
overselling yourselves.
No, that wasn't assholish at all, in my opinion. That was pretty straight down the line. Like the fact that they think about the relationship all day. They're thinking about what he's doing, what he might be doing, what is he thinking, what is the fact that they're in their head, they will count that as something. And the nothing that they do sometimes, they will, try to trump that up and count that as something like what a man does and what he brings in a relationship. It does have to be more physical and more tangible. And if he's not bringing that, you can more readily identify that, okay, he's not, he's not doing A, B, C, or D. So yeah, that's a way to trump up. Like, I'll put it like this. This is sort of another topic, but it's loosely related. All of that works into the logic that they use when they try to say that, a man who, I don't know if he made $10 million riding the bench in the NBA, or he made $10 million developing a technology, building some little tech company. He created some technology, he sold it for $10 million or whatever. They get a divorce, and oh yeah, she deserves half. Cut it right in half. She deserves $5 million, whatever he was worth, $5 million. The reason that she's worth all of that is because all of the little things that she's done, they trump all of that up to be really, really, really big things. And keep in mind, I'm not team send her back to the projects. She deserve a little something. She deserve a little something. She deserve a little something on the way out the door.
What a stipend?
Yeah.
You get a per diem.
I'm for giving her a little something, even though I don't think these chicks, if they divorce this rich man, I don't think they should be able to get anything. But anyway, that's a whole nother debate. Oh no, not even a debate.
Well, here's something a little bit more interesting. I think.
But just hold your thought. Just the general point that I'm trying to make is that and you are right on this, is that they elevate non-tangible things that women bring to a relationship, and they make them equal to the tangible. Now, women can bring a lot of really good, wonderful, nice, soft things to the relationship. They absolutely can. But the whole psychology of elevating that is what she's doing when she's talking again about that emotional labor and emotional this and emotional that. So anyway, that's what's going on there. Real quick, Terrell Boxley in the building. Shout out to you. I don't know if I've seen you through here in a minute, but he says, LOL, a blow ever chick on Facebook dating, trying to use that emo intelligence to try to shame me into compliance. It didn't work. She BBQ. Barbecue? Do BBQ got in some other meaning other than barbecue?
I guess that means she out of there. She got cooked. I don't know.
Okay, yes, you got okay. All right, cool. All right. A story to tell in the building says the man is laid back on the couch because he already feels like he got invited to a handicap match. Yeah. Shout out to A Story to Tell. Appreciate you coming through with the super chat. I'm assuming moderators, they've been dropping your link in the chat and everything, right? Right.
I guess I haven't even been watching that closely. I assume
they have. Make sure that y'all.
Oh, moderators, could you do me a favor? My channel's down right now. I've been a naughty guy. Last week when we were streaming, I did a show like that Friday, just I guess a few hours before our show on Saturday, and I went far. I don't know what it was. I think I nailed it down because I was trying to replay in my head just when I went too far. And there was a clip. I tell you, Black Twitter, bro, you're gonna love it. So this guy, he bought his grandpa a little pocket vagina thing. Oh. It was so hilarious. And his dad, it was like an actual plastic vagina, just like that little to like 1 foot long section of the body, just a little vagina, nothing else, none of the other parts that you don't like, just the vagina. And he brought it for his grandpa, and he was like genuinely like, "Oh boy, you really so thought of me." I was dead. He up there touching it. He like, it had 2 holes. He was playing with it. I was like, "Oh no, who brought this? Who does this with a grandpa?" Then I stopped and I was thinking like, well, when I get old, I hope my grandkid loves me this much.
I don't see why they would shut you down over that. I mean, people do sex toy reviews. Like, what's going on?
I don't know, but we had a wild show that night. I played a lot of stuff that might have been a little close to the line. Like this one girl, the guy asked the girl, what was the worst thing you ever did? And she said her boyfriend cheated on her, so she slept with his mom. It's like, woo! Oh, like yeah, I had a fun show that night, and then next day I got a YouTube email, and I'm on the naughty list for 2 weeks.
God damn it! I just knew you was going to say the dad. I just knew she was going to say she slept with the dad. It's crazy how women, they do have that ultimate get back. Like, I mean, okay, I'm willing to say that 20 a considerable percentage of dads will turn it away. I don't know the percentage, but let's just say a girlfriend break up with her boyfriend, and she tries to get him back just to piss him off. She's just gonna she can go and sleep with a couple of his friends. She can just go do that. They're not going to say no. Probably the best friend, the best friend is going to say no, probably. But the 3rd, 4th, or 5th buddy of yours, he gonna fuck your girl if you throw it at him to get back at you. It's like,
you don't have to go far down that list.
I mean, I'm being generous saying the 3rd, 4th, and 5th best friend. I'm giving the actual best friend a lot of credit here, saying that he's gonna say no. But oh no, she can fuck your friends. That's just all to it.
Well, you mentioned something that I kind of like noticed as a real hardcore criticism of Black male culture is that we don't truly have a bros before hoes kind of culture. Not one in a meaningful sense. Because of what you just said, a lot of Black men just, so what? Yeah, she throwing it at me, I'll take it. Doesn't matter if that was your girl, bro. Hey, listen, man, your girl was slut. It's like that.
Okay, I know.
I know. It's like, bro, look, like that's a problem in and of itself. Like, we gonna have to sort that one out. But I got the other half of this therapist queued up here. Let's get back to it.
And to hold the space of serving the couple is effort, because I really, really want to talk to the men and help build the men's emotional intelligence and the men's capacity for emotional discomfort and the men's ability to regulate their own emotions and the man's ability to be accountable for their behaviors. So
that's the part.
For all you cishet women, especially Black cishet women that are out there thugging it out in love with a cishet Black man, I see you. Your labor is noted. Y'all soldiers for real.
All right, that's it. So, yeah, you're a soldier for loving the Black man. You should get a medal. You should pin it to your chest. They should weave it into your dreads.
Man, that's wild. That's wild. I'm pulling up right now as we speak the some of the stuff that we didn't get to last week. I'm looking at it right now because it was definitely some good ones. One of them I did my own. Oh shoot, I forgot about this one. Yeah, I gotta do that. I mean, we talked about that one, but that was something I wanted to do something separate on. But but there was a few things. Oh shoot. We didn't cover this one. I covered this one, but I didn't. I wanted to get your reaction to it. I jacked you for content on this one because you sent me this email. We were supposed to do it together, and I didn't. I want to get your quick.
Oh yeah, I
5-minute.
remember this.
I want to get
I
your
never got to
5-minute
do
or
this.
so rant on this one. Yeah, but no, I did content on it. I did a whole live stream on it.
And maleness,
Right.
But
second place
hold
is where
on,
the argument.
here we go.
There's a thing called desirability.
Hold up, let me make sure I got it. Oh dang it! Oh yeah, it's already on the screen. It's on the screen.
No, and this is what I was trying to tell you before. Like, just listening to women talk is bizarre sometimes. I can't believe your brain works like this.
All right, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because like I said, I did a stream on it, but I did want to hear Hoodservative's take on it. So let's go. It's a 1-minute clip. I'm gonna play it straight through. Or you can tell me to pause it at any moment if you want, but or you can just let it play straight through and just give me whatever you got on it. But go ahead.
Now let it play, and then we can come back.
The whole world is built for whiteness and maleness.
Right.
Second place is where the arguments come in, because if you're doing it based on gender, then black men are still men, so they can be second place. But if you're doing it based on race, suddenly white women get second place because they each have half of the winning equation, which is being male and being white. Guess who is nothing on that list?
Black
women at the very, very bottom. And so what happens a lot of times when women are trying to get these jobs, they try to be as masculine as possible so they can at least be half.
We dealt with that working with men, the masculinity or how we were showing up in a space of business. I would say with authority. It was almost manipulated for us to believe we were being emotional.
Whenever it comes to oppression, the person who is in a place of power sees equality as losing something. So a lot of times black men don't realize that they have an internal bias where they feel threatened by masculine women because they're like, look, the only thing me and the white man got in common
is that we're both men.
If you're masculine too, bitch, now I gotta share the second spot that I'm already sharing with white women.
That same ideology applies to the idea of inclusion.
Second place is where the argument.
All right, that was it.
No, this is like kind of echoing things that I've been saying about the way the black politics is working though. Yes, by putting yourself in a masculine frame, you're my challenger, you're my opponent now. You're making yourself a threat. And black men have we are really, really loath to consider black women as a threat in any kind of way. Like, you will literally get called like, less of a man by other men if you point out the fact that, like, bro, no, these women are forming up against us. Like, they are actually working in concert to box us out of things that we could use to our advantage. And they'd be like, oh, you worried too much about what these women do and blah, blah, blah. These women ain't doing nothing wrong. I'm like, all right.
Okay. Well, damn. Well, let me interject this. When you say that men get criticized for that, did you mean specifically black men? Or because I think
I'm talking about within black conversations. Yes, specifically black men by black men.
Okay.
Black women too.
Because there's a reason why, like, for example, the Republican Party is mostly white men, because white men somewhere, I mean, that's just a shiny beacon representation that white men somewhere understand that that women forming up and squatting up to do things to advocate for women at the expense of men, they understand that's a thing. Like, so it's like they have their certain little strong, they have their strongholds where they like, hell no, we won't go, we ain't moving. Y'all can go play around in the sandbox over there. You make your little liberal sandbox and let everybody in and do all that. We holding the line right here, 300. Like, so anyway, go ahead.
I don't see that in the Republican Party on the whole. I see a few spots maybe. So like, I think, was it Oklahoma? Someone just sort of banned abortions, like almost completely criminalized abortion. One of those Midwestern states. Ron DeSantis has to be to do that. Ron DeSantis in Florida pretty much just banned abortions after like 14 weeks, which is, really, really short. Good on him. And there are pockets of Republicans that will, stand up for it. Like, even DeSantis just passed like a pro-fatherhood bill, which is essentially opening up like funds and resources to single dads now. And Republicans are still typically kind of feminist at heart, though. That's the problem. I don't know that any Republicans or anyone in real mainstream politics is holding the line like you just said. It's a
You don't
nice
think so?
idea. I don't see it really happening.
Well,
Not much.
okay, maybe they're faltering, but
Like, how much pro male legislation can you point to over the last 5
okay,
years?
fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe they're paying they pay lip service to the line. Is that fair?
Right. They pay some lip service, but then we'll get laws like what was that? What's Salt Lake City? Utah. I think Utah passed a bill where you're gonna get charged child support before the baby's born. They're starting to rack up the bill before the birth even comes out. It's like there's a war being waged against men in certain sectors here, and there's not a lot of pushback.
How do they determine the that who's the dad? Like,
Isn't that the point?
there isn't even a birth certificate for him to sign, for them to say. I mean, if they don't do a DNA test and there ain't a birth certificate for him to sign, like, where does he go to do he just got to go and agree that I's the pappy, or
It's on her word, obviously.
or do she just or she's if she's 3 months pregnant, do she just get to say, yeah, I fucked him 3 months ago? Like, what
Well,
how
I don't
does
know
it
if
work?
that's a different scenario, but I think it still applies the same. She just puts a name on paper, and now you got to deal with it, which is kind of what has happened to a lot of guys, low key, anyway.
Yeah, that can happen in Michigan. I know that. I live in Michigan.
The stories I've heard came from Michigan. Yeah, it's rough up there.
Yeah, it's wild out here. The reason I said what I said, because I saw a photo, and somebody did this by way of, trying to call the Republican Party racist. They showed all the senators of the Democratic Party and all the senators of the Republican Party. It was just mostly white male. And then the Democratic Party, all the senators, it was a rainbow coalition. And so that's why I came to the conclusion that they, I guess, in optics are, forming up, and so to speak, like that.
Oh yeah.
Like when you look at that, just a pure shot of that, it looked like one group coming together saying, this is our stronghold where we're going to keep our power. But you're probably right. When you go look at the odds and ends of what they're doing, they're making a lot of concessions to the point that goes back to my larger point. When people start talking about white supremacy, I'm like, no, they're giving this country away. If this is their country, they're trying to give it away. It's about what piece of it you're going to try to take. And so that goes back to your point. The women, they are squadding up, trying to figure out how they can, take portions of it. They're fighting for, more female power to advocate for girls and women. So yeah.
I think it's more insidious, sinister, evil even than that.
See, whenever I try to steel man the argument, we end up at the same conclusion. I'll just steel man the argument, and then you will come with the no. This is what they're really trying to do. We end up at the same place, but you just take a direction with a bunch of detours. You go all into the dark place and come out the swamp. But this is how they got there.
Dude, so go ahead. Because the mind is the darkest muscle. Like none of your other muscles are capable of evil, bro. Only your mind is capable of evil. And you got to understand these women's mind. If you see white male masculinity as the epitome of male power and male dominance, right? You are doing two things with the black man. You are putting the epitome of masculinity away from the black man, for one, and then two, you are blocking him from having any access to masculinity whatsoever. That's what's really happening here. By saying, one, you're saying the white man's on top and he has to be taken down. I've made this argument to you before, mind you, but by saying the white man is on top and he has to be taken down, we got to take down the patriarchy, because the patriarchy is evil, because the patriarchy, wants to enslave women. You leave black men with two options. You either stand with the women who don't believe in your masculinity, your manhood, your leadership, and also now you get to stand also with the LGBT stuff and all the groomers and all that weird stuff, and you got to sacrifice your firstborn son. Or listen, I know it's rough. You can stand with the white man, and maybe you got to fight a couple of racist battles every now and then, but your masculinity is in check, and you might even actually be able to run some shit one day. Which way, black man? And this is kind of why I look at it like, no, it's not just a simple battle of like, well, girls like this and men like that. Like, no. I take almost personal offense to the idea of women being against masculinity, especially from a so-called black context. Like, what are we even doing here? So my essence, my maleness is what you're really, really trying to attack. And that's why I say, no, it is way worse. It's actually far more evil than you give them credit for. You're kind of muted, I think.
Yeah, my bad. I missed what you said. I had to take a phone call. The last thing I heard was something about sacrificing your firstborn son. But anyway.
No, essentially, no, it's the idea that if you get black men to be against patriarchy, where does that leave the black man?
Yeah. No, yeah. It leaves them. I did hear that part because I was, on the phone with one ear and listening with the other ear. I did hear you say that part. But what it ultimately, basically what you said right there, the conclusion for me is this is why black men need to try to take over whatever portion of the Republican Party that they can. Just take it over.
A black male block in the Republican Party, and that's where the essence, the anchor of the masculine frame will have to come from.
Yeah. Because if you and that shouldn't be that foreign of a concept for this reason. There are so many different forming blocks of the Democratic Party. There's remember we did a show about the non-ADOS black politician who's speaking things slightly different, if not full-blown different, than the ADOS black Democratic politician. So they have their little enclave. There's foreigners who still got their accent and their dot on their on their forehead and shit. that's winning major seats. There's all kind of groups and enclaves. Like everybody's over there jockeying for position because it's an everybody under the tent type of deal. But either way it goes, they're jockeying for position. I remember it was a Mexican guy or Hispanic Latino, I don't know what to call him, but he was talking about all that inclusion stuff and everything, and now okay, fine, great, but he was in that discussion with Jared Taylor, and Jared Taylor pointed out to him that your we's and your we's, they's, and I's are basically not lining up, because he was saying we, in terms of America and togetherness and da-da-da, but then in the next breath he'll say that we, but he's talking about Hispanic and Latinos. We have X number of politicians and X number of senators and X number of governors and X number of this, and that's a great thing, and that's blah. He was talking about that, but but Jared Taylor was rightfully pointing out that on one hand, you can champion how your group is growing and gaining more power, and your group gaining and getting more power is a good thing. It's a good thing, but you got a problem. you got a problem with the white men having their big group, their big group and their power. I'm not about to talk about all the other groups taking it or whatever. And now keep in mind, I'm of the view that in this country it is wide open. It is wide open. We elected a black president twice. We got a blackish. Barack was blackish by some definitions too, but we got a blackish woman in the vice president seat. This is all kind of, it's a rainbow coalition of politicians, senators, governors all over. This shit is up for grabs. This shit is up for grabs. So it does come down to a situation of what you're going to fight for, how you're going to fight for it. But I think you did a good job of laying out, okay, but where are you going to fight? Black men fighting for that in the Democratic Party, they're not fighting for themselves.
It's a non-start.
Yeah, they're not fighting for themselves. It's almost need to be a complete separation. Fight in a different area, gain and grow your power in a different area, in a different arena, and work from there. That's where I'm at with it.
I've been thinking about something while you were talking, and this is like almost insane, but I could see formation. I could see little pockets of it forming now. What if the future voters for the Republican Party, or let's just say the future conservative voters, even if it's not quite Republican per se, will be divestors and SYSBM black men? Could you imagine that group getting together? Like, imagine the divestors and the SYSBM black men at a polling station. Like, that'll be the quietest line of black people. Like, none of y'all want to fuck with none of y'all. And they all gonna be working together, though.
I can see it.
Like, maybe that's how we get the community back together. This is bizarre, but like, I can see it forming up that way, where the divestors can vote conservative because they have their interest and their views, that the things that they want to see less of out of black people. And then the SYSBM guys, they can vote conservative because the things that they view and the things they want to see less of out of the community. And quietly, like, both sides kind of low-key hate each other, but it doesn't matter because, we're just here to get the job done.
The old term, politics make strange bedfellows. Yeah.
It has to.
You're saying they have things that what did you say that they want to see out of black people, or things they want to see more
less of?
Yeah, things that they want to see less of in black people. We're seeing as they're all technically divestors. What they want to see less of in black people is a dark skin, because they're going to be producing. They're going to be producing a lot of yellow and beige. There's a lot of yellow and beige black people. Somebody posted in my comment section.
SYSBM too.
That's what I said. That's what I'm talking about. I said
both sides are doing it. And look, their kids are going to come together.
Exactly. The labradoodles, they're going to come together. That's what's going to happen.
Yes, more labradoodles, please. All right.
Yeah, but I met the SYSBM and the divestors. They both are, going to produce a bunch of light skinned beige kids. So the things that they want to see less of in black people is black skin. They want to produce black people that are light brown to beige, and those light brown to beige people, whether they come from SYSBM or they came from the divestment community, they're going to come together, and it's going to basically become their own race. Get it? Just like Labrador, the people who don't know, because that's a reference. That's a throwback reference from the last show, I think it was.
Where that whole new race of people we're going to create.
Yeah, it basically explained how Labradors and poodles exist separately, but they found out, okay, you mix them together, they breed together quite well, and they called it Labradoodles, where they've created so much Labradoodles to where, like, it's like third generation, where they got Labradoodles breeding with Labradoodles, creating more Labradoodles who bred with a Labradoodle who came from Labradoodles, to the point to where the last time a poodle or a Labrador was in the bloodline was like 10 generations ago, 20 generations ago. It's to the point to where they're their own separate species at this point. Labradoodle is a separate species. They don't even make Labradoodles from poodles and Labradors anymore. That's what it is. When a lot of light-skinned and beige people, like a lot of light-skinned people who still call themselves black, even though they're black in the sense that, and they are black. I call them black too, but they're black in the sense that, okay, the grandmama was black, or granddaddy was black, grandmama was white, or whatever. Created a light-skinned person who bred with another person who had a black and white grandmama, and so those two light-skinned people who's technically mixed, who call themselves black, got together and produced a baby who grew up with somebody who also came to exist from the same situation. They all still calling each other black, but they're Labradoodles. they came from a intermixing, made it with somebody who came from an intermixing. That kid is still equally intermixed. He just third generation intermixed. We never look at it like that. Those people call themselves black. I mean, they call themselves like full-blooded black, but no, it's mixed people mating with mixed people to the point to where they've damn near became their own race to some degree. To some degree, we still call them black and invite them to the cookout though. They still,
it's so funny.
They still
I just found a clip. Oh, I just actually reviewed it for the first time while you were talking because I wanted to make sure I didn't leave anything off the table while we were doing the show today. And this is a moment from a San Francisco community meeting, and we were talking about races mixing and whatnot. And the blacks and the Asians, the black versus yellow beef has been simmering low key for a good year and some change now. And San Francisco was apparently a big hotspot for the black Asian kind of thing. And there was a San Francisco redistricting meeting, right? So they're doing public business here. And let's take a look at what happened.
So if you want to keep it right, I said that they didn't know what they was reading. That's what I said. So, and anyway, and then you keep
and you say that you have solidarity with us when our elders come up.
I just want to take a moment to note pro-black guy sitting in the back with his kufi on. All right, let's go.
And you call us Nazis and racists and corporate shills. Oh no, I heard it in that room. In that room,
Mr. Min, to the
many of us were called Nazis and shills. And when our elders came up here, don't even deny that some of you groaned and moaned and said that they didn't have thoughts of their own. Solidarity. Solidarity. And when we speak, just like this, you deny all those actions. You deny all of it. You don't even have the guts to speak up for our people.
Thank you for your comments.
When your people say something.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I said that they were reading something that they didn't know what they were reading. That's what I said. So if you want to keep it right, I said that they didn't know what they was reading. That's what I said. So, and anyway, and then you keep running your fucking mouth anyway. So what are you talking about? So what? So what? So what? So what? So what?
Yo, who grandmama is this, bro? Somebody need to get their grandmama before she get karate kicked. Y'all might not make it out this room.
It's gonna be some kung fu fight.
So what? Don't get up here acting like somebody. Boy, sit in. I said that they was reading something they didn't know what they was reading.
Yo.
That's what I said.
Hold on.
I got it.
Yeah. That face right there. I'm telling you. You don't even know what level black belt he is. He probably didn't even know he was a black belt till he whipped your ass. Like, he's just ready. He's just ready. I can tell. I know how these videos play out. They will fuck this black woman up.
What I'm thinking about is when somebody like Issa Rae said before that, well, black women are the least chosen of women when it comes to dating and mating. They're the least selected on dating apps. And guess what? Asian men are the least chosen men when it comes to dating and mating. They're the least selected on the dating app. So Asian men and black women should just get together.
No.
And then I look at this.
That's the face he made when she said that. He turned around and was like, "Bitch, what? Bitch, what?
What, bitch? Are you crazy?"
Oh man. And you know what? This is where like racism stereotypes can be positive. Just on an IQ level, they're too smart. They know this is a bad deal. They run the numbers like really, really fast. They're like, nope, no Keisha, sorry, next.
They know what they was reading. That's what I said. Didn't nobody call nobody no damn Nazi because ain't nobody disrespectful like that. So get it straight. Now, that's what I said. You don't like it too damn bad. Because they all get up there saying it's going to be a new V10.
Ooh.
Okay, now let me just maybe I missed some necessary backstory. I don't know what the fuck they arguing about. I don't I don't know what's going on here.
It's a redistricting meeting, so technically it's about like zoning rights and which kind of property you can build in which particular neighborhood. But the thing is, the Asians and the blacks kind of have beef just in general. And so it doesn't even matter. Like, of course, you're going to call the guy a racist over a redistricting issue because the blacks and the Asians just got problems right now. It's like hard to get into. It's too much. Things have happened. Let's put it that way. Things have happened. We're reaching like Hatfield and McCoy kind of territory.
Yeah. Wait, did we finish even talking about that last clip that had up with the chick with the see here I'm describing her in a way to not say the fat black chick, and the chick with the pillow on her lap.
No, I mean, I know why they all had to be fat. And did you notice the less black they were, the less heavier they were too? I just thought that was a weird dynamic of that video. Like, really, if you go back and look at it, like the girl who was really black was the fattest. The girl who was kind of like mixedish was a little like less. She was a little smaller, and then the girl who was like an exotical, she was borderline thick. She wasn't quite fat. She was just like you were thick yesterday, but you should have stopped eating. It was like that kind of deal, and it was the whole scene was just weird. But those girls, like, that racism narrative is going to die sooner or later, like probably sooner than later. And you see it like with this video of the San Francisco thing I just played. Like, sooner or later, it's just going to run out of steam. And I wonder what's going to be the next thing to happen after that. Like, what do black people have after the racism argument dies?
Right. But what do you just think, though, about the concept? Well, okay. I forgot how she said it, but the preference is for white and male. Okay, well, black men have half of that equation because they're male. White women have half of that equation because they're white. But black women have none of that equation, so they're at the bottom. What's your takeaway on that one?
I look at it almost like from a battle strategy kind of approach, whereas black women are kind of isolated by their own admission in that framing. So one, black women kind of identify as women first and black second, I think. And so they'll support, pro-woman things at the expense of men. And I think black men would be better served identifying as men first than as black, and put black second if you want. And that way it will open up space to like work with the white side of things to actually get things done for the whole of like male interest. Because I think it's at this point, it's safe to say black male interest and white male interest have a lot of overlap.
Mm-hmm.
And we could get a lot of like great significant things done on the family front, on the child welfare front, on the family court front, just economically. We might even be able to like roll back some of these weird like policies. Like, in California now, they just passed a rule where you have to have a woman as a board member on your company. Like, a lot of companies are quietly leaving California too. And or like, this is a different kind of thing, but so the NFL had that new rule where you have to have like a woman/minority a part of every NFL team. Yeah, they're like tweaking the Rodney rule now. And so I think men are the only
Football,
real dude, I don't make these rules.
Okay, shout out to Cam Newton.
Right. Respect my misogyny.
But right now we've elevated Cam Newton as the voice of as our new spokesman. He just did an interview with a chick where I swear he had on like some weird leggings and an ankle bracelet. So I mean, there's no perfect advocates, but so
I gotta be misogynistic against some of you niggas too. God damn it.
I was like, he had on like some leggings that was like capri, like the capris, the ones that come like to the middle of the shin bone, those They're like shorts that come past. They're like shorts that come too far past the knee.
Moist. It sounds moist. It sounds like the outfit of a moist man.
He had it was like leggings. It was like some weird leggings that came like to the middle of the shin bone or the middle of the calf muscle, and he had on like an ankle bracelet, like a full blown ankle bracelet, with some shiny rhinestones in it. So I was like, dude, we just I don't make me take my video down. No, just playing. I ain't gonna do that. But
I'm not a huge fan of men in jury, particularly. Anyway, I think jury is mostly a female thing. So that's all.
Yeah, I had to get I had to make myself get a watch just because I do think a man should have a watch.
A watch is functional.
Yeah, but I can't. I don't even know if it got the right time. Because
I know, but it still has a job. Like a necklace doesn't actually have a job. Like think about it. Like earrings don't have a job. Necklace don't have a job. Other than a wedding ring, your rings don't have a job. You just wear them because it looks pretty and low key because bitches like shiny. But that's really what it is.
Do bitches like shiny? But okay, do bitches
shout
like
out to
shiny?
Zero, by the way. Shout out to Zero.
Yes. I was just about that tip of my tongue. But what I'm asking is, do bitches like shiny ankle bracelets on men?
Oh God, dude, that's tough. That's tough. I don't know how to begin to approach that. I'm sure there are, but those would be the ones that probably want to like peg you to later on. Like I don't trust women that like that kind of man.
Yeah. See, I've talked about it enough. Now I got to pull it up. Where is it?
Oh, you got the image? Oh man.
These
ball players be like trying to push fashion to a whole nother place. And it's not just the ball players. It's not just ball players, man. I saw a picture of Conway the Machine, the rapper from Benny the Butcher, all them. So Conway
I'm bad
the Machine,
when it comes to rappers, yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I only know the one or two I like. But Conway the Machine, he was photographed in like a dress. I think it was like, I don't know what brand. It was like some kind of fashion label, but it was like a long skirt type of deal. I'm like, what the hell, bro? I can't. This is why I don't listen to rap no more. I'm about to be one of those black people that just listen to white music openly in public and shit.
Gonna be singing along to that theme song to Friends. All loud, just rocking with it.
Man, cuz the rappers they done lost it, man. I can't be a rap fan no more.
All right. Now look, hold on, wait. See, it's hard to get the perfect shot of it. Let me move my stuff out see, you can't even get the exact great shot of it. But that's what I meant by like the capri leggings. I don't know what's going on there. And then you could just
my nigga got on yoga pants. Holy shit. Yo, no. You're not supposed to wear a fedora and yoga pants, bro. What the fuck, kid? Oh man.
The ankle bracelet though. That like
and he got seashells around his ankle. Like what the hell? My dude got cowrie shells. What is that? Is that like some kind of like metrosexual symbol?
I thought that was like a bracelet, like it's some diamonds or whatever, however you make bracelets out of. I don't know if that's like one of them seashell joints. I don't know.
I don't know because he looked like one of them earthy type niggas. He probably do got a seashell necklace or some shit. He look earthy as a motherfucker right now.
I get that there's dudes who rock those around their wrists and around their neck, but the ankle bracelets are supposed to look like they're there to look cute when like the legs are in the air during a certain event.
Why he dressed like a soccer mom, man? I can't. It's just bro. I can't. This is why I don't mess with like celebrity no more. It's weird for me, but I have a hard time even liking most black pop culture because, like, dude, what the hell is going on with y'all? You're not supposed to come out here looking like a soccer mom. My man got the burgundy yoga pants and the cute little sneakers to match. Got your husband's shirt on with it, like. I can't, man. Nah. I'm just on my own little island, like chilling by myself. I can't fuck with these niggas no more, bro.
You telling me Okay, he got on the yoga pants in his tank top or whatever that he was working out doing his yoga in, and then that's what they do when they go to the soccer practice. They don't want to just be all just yoga pants, double cheeked up at picking the kid up from soccer practice. So they'll put on a big shirt. They'll put on their husband's shirt to cover up their ass when they go pick up the kid. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right
He don't want niggas looking at his butt.
Why he ain't just tied around his waist?
Oh man, listen, bro. New fashion, I hate it, bro. I really hate it. That's why it's like a weird segment of Black America I can never be friends with. That whole black hipster look, like earthy black people. It just I can't, man. Y'all just make me uncomfortable in ways I don't know how to describe. It's just something's off. There's something wrong here.
Oh shit.
He said it helps his skin breathe. Oh god, man.
He was in the middle of getting canceled, and we rolled hard for him. Then he gonna make his next appearance like that.
Yeah, and look at the neck scarf, right, Judge Zilla? Look at the neck scarf, bro. What man wears the neck scarf like that? It's got that cute little tie with the I don't even know how to describe it all properly. It's something wrong with how you wear your scarf, bro. You don't wear your scarf with testosterone.
I have no idea how you wear a scarf like that. I mean, I was recently just talking about scarves. Like, I don't understand them. Like, I mean, look, okay, fashion is fashion when it comes to. I mean, okay, I don't know. I don't know. There are some guys I've seen pull off a scarf, not like that where you tie it in and not around the neck. I don't know nothing about that. That's out of my realm.
But the guy, he tried to hide his boo, gave him a hickey.
No, come on.
That's what that is. That's the hide a hickey scarf. Oh shit. Oh no. No, I'm over this nigga, bro. I can't be a Cam. No, we can't support Cam. This is a questionable scene right here, man.
They tried to cancel him, and we rolled hard for him. All right, and he was like,
bro.
This is how he show up.
What nigga was sucking his neck?
What?
I said, what nigga was sucking his neck, bro? He trying to hide a hickey. Nah, he need to be questioned. He need to be questioned severely now, man.
Man. All right, man. All right. Cam Newton, goddamn, man, goddamn. But yeah. All right. Here about the this was one other thing that we didn't exactly touch yesterday. I don't even remember what this was. Not yesterday, Saturday. I barely remember what this one was about.
Oh yeah, I know what this is. So, this is from you remember Jon Stewart, The Daily Show?
Yeah. Jon Stewart. Back in my liberal days.
Right.
Used to love Jon Stewart, and he passed. He handed Trevor Noah off to me, and I love Trevor Noah, and I still can go back and watch. I still can go back and watch The Daily Show and enjoy it. I mean, it's entertainment, but yeah. So anyway, I'm very familiar with Jon Stewart. So what's the deal here?
All right, so he started a new show, and he basically went super duper woke. And I remember when I was doing the show with you before, I was saying that some of these clips I really couldn't even use because, like, Leslie Jones was a part of this particular show, and she got a potty mouth, like instant demonetization. But this one is actually safe, and they're just talking about woke black ideas. And I forget I forget how we were supposed to bring it up because this is something from a different show. I remember this is like from 2 or 3 shows back. But this is just the black lady, Jon Stewart's black female friend.
Oh, okay. So this was actually on Jon Stewart's show. That part I didn't know at all.
No, it's total production from his show.
Huh. Okay. The problem with Jon Stewart. Okay. I'm looking.
You might want to
Hold on.
actually small screen this because I'm sure they're going to copyright. They're going to come after this.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll do it like.
Yeah, this is the small. Yeah, because I noticed with the copyrighted images, you can't really full screen them for too long. It's better to review them with the smaller window image like that.
All right. Well,
or just the audio.
Yeah,
the audio is usually best.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll just do audio. We'll just do audio. Hold on.
If you don't need to see the image to judge it, then just based off of the argument or the
girl who's talking is kind of cute, and so sometimes you throw that into the equation. See if she may sway you maybe 5% if she's cute. I'm just playing. All right.
That I mean, there is something to that.
Not really to me. I'd be joking like that, but I think what happens in this space sometimes, like let's just say it's a particular female content creator who says a lot of stupid stuff, I will still acknowledge, oh no, she's attractive. Of course she is. Like what y'all talking about? But dudes will swear up and down she's not, and I think they have to tell themselves that she's not attractive, just because if they acknowledge that they're attracted to her, then I think that's when it starts happening. They start leaning towards or giving more credence to what she's saying. I don't do that at all. I just joke like that. I don't care how fine she is.
You're much better than me. You've got much better credibility than me. If it moves, that automatically adds +5 to our argument.
No, I joke around like that, but no, I don't listen. I don't care how fine you are. If you say something stupid, you said something stupid. I'll acknowledge that you're fine, that I like you and I want you, but you just said something stupid and I'm not giving it no credit. But anyway, let's go.
The problem with white people is everything. Oops. Sorry, John. No, but seriously, the problem with white people is the inherent defense mechanisms that pop up to protect privilege anytime race, equity, or racist systems come up, i.e., I never owned slaves. Why does it always have to be about race with you people? And my least favorite, this feels like reverse racism. In fact, we are attempting to undo 400 years of white folks getting dibs and special treatment. Break it down for them. Break it down, girl! Equitable solutions for Black people would work to benefit everyone. And while none of these solutions threaten the civil rights of white Americans, they would, however, close the gap in civil liberties white Americans have historically had access to. I think the real problem with white people is how deeply entrenched privilege exists in their everyday lives and how terrified they are to lose it. And there it is. Here it is there.
Now, I'm going to remind you again, what Black women are calling white privilege is also things and freedoms that they're going to deny Black men. At a certain point, they're going to handcuff you. And that's really what the game is here.
But she's so cute though. No, I'm just all right.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you. Never trust a big butt and a smile. That girl is poison.
She is. I mean, and I'd much rather look at that than the sofa on the couch on the sofa that you had up there earlier. The one 18 patterns because they could fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
Hey, I just have to say this though. This might have been okay. This is before your time. This is before your particular channel, Bernard Riley.
Mm-hmm.
I called that Cam Newton shit 2.5, 3 years ago. Niggas is gonna be walking around here in yoga pants, ankle bracelets, the whole fucking deal. I called this shit. I called it.
You saw the yoga pants coming.
Yeah, no, that's not going. No, yeah.
Now I've been a denier of everything. Like no matter what people said, whenever anybody has said anything like, you see, and next thing they gonna be doing this. I'm like, no, they not. Dude, cut it out. They not going that far. Fast forward a year. Oh goddamn, they doing it.
Like I thought the same way. Look, I thought the same way. Look, okay, so I'm 45. I'll be 45 this year. You're a little bit younger than I am. I'm not quite sure, hoodservative, where you're at, but I think you might be between the both of us.
Sure.
Okay. I used to say, like, it's crazy now because, like, I never had LGBT Rainbow Coalition, never had an issue with them. Like, yeah. But all those evangelicals at the time in the 80s, 90s, right? And they say, well, if you let this happen, they're gonna do this. And if you let this happen, they're gonna do this. And they're gonna want to marry their dogs, and they're gonna want to marry themselves, and they're gonna want to marry their house. And nah, that's not what's gonna happen. Cut
That was me.
two. Oh man, but if you let them, if you let them teach your kids, then they're gonna want to teach your kids about what they do. Nah, man, adults are never gonna want to have a conversation with a third grader about specifics of homosexual sex. like why are they've turned? I'm pro drugs. Legalizing drugs. I am pro legalized gambling. I'm pro legalized prostitution. I'm for everybody being allowed to do whatever they want as long as it's with another adult and there's consent.
Yep.
And I have become a conservative. That is the definition of a conservative now, because I don't want people talking to third graders about sex, whether it's heterosexual or homosexual sex. I don't think they should be doing that. And because a person with a penis and breasts is still a man, I'm a conservative now.
Well, let me add something to this. This is kind of what we were touching. The last show we did, and I know we kind of had a laugh about this, Bernard, no more gay stuff. But like
Let's take a break. Let's take a break.
It's
back
intense.
around
I
there.
know it is psycho. That is emotional labor. Watching that kind of stuff, doing research and doing that show, that's emotional labor for you. But no, we were talking about. Well, I was trying to make the point that because Black women are so politically and socially connected to the L Gibbets, the whole Rainbow Coalition. The Divestors, she called them the multi-letter mafia, which I think was nice. And because Black women are so connected to that group, they have nowhere to go to stand against the LGBT encroachment towards the children. They really, ideologically, they have nowhere to go. Socially, they have nowhere to go unless they're willing to stand with the so-called racist and the toxic masculinity men and whatnot. And this is why I say Black men, it's better if we just make the decision clear. Yeah, listen, we're toxic men, and some of these guys over here may or may not be a racist. What are you ladies gonna do now? Like, because they're gonna make you make the choice, but by then it may be too late.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing with it. And again, this fashion thing, right? This feminization of masculine fashion, right? And those that push it forward. Look, I wish that I wasn't right about this 3 years ago. I'm like, you will see dudes in yoga pants in your regular life just out there running around, and you know what's happening.
Yeah.
And like, no. And again, I come from the baggy clothes era.
Right. Yeah, and I don't like baggy clothes either. I don't wear baggy shit.
Not overtly so, but being comfortable in my clothing, I'd rather have it loose than tight.
Isn't it weird when you see
I'm just saying I come from that era
like that? Now, isn't it weird when you see a guy who still like dresses like 1999? It's like looking back in time, like with the XXX jersey and the pants that are obviously not your size. Like, dudes, I'm ashamed to have done that back in the day. Now that I look at it,
I do loose fit, but you can't see my underwear. Obviously the jersey fits me. You know what I mean?
I saw a bright
I'm not
orange.
I'm not wearing an old school nightgown. You know.
I saw a bright orange FUBU jersey on a guy like just a couple years ago. Like I don't know where he found it, but apparently they don't still actively sell FUBU anywhere, do they? Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's
still?
like a collector's item.
Actually, I think they do. He sold the company, but so I don't think the company's under a black dude. But I've seen, like you're saying, I've seen the. I don't think these are like people pulling their shit out the closet.
That's what I thought. I thought
I don't think a motherfucker went to their storage locker and you store it and said, "Oh shit, my FUBU and Carl Kanai shit."
Okay.
Yeah, Carl Kanai.
If he would have had on like some I don't know, the rest of his outfit kind of looked like he did just pull it out of his closet.
he had all this stuff in stores for where he just got out after a 7-year bid.
Yeah,
that's how dudes be looking. Like life stopped for you for like 6 whole years, and now you just got off the bus. You trying to get back to your old neighborhood.
They pulled this shit. They pulled this shit out of what he got arrested out of his property. Out of the vacuum sealed bag.
She was wearing when you got arrested. Hell yeah, this should still be waiting for you.
He came out with a pager on a chain,
looking for a payphone. Like, oh my god, like that's the whole thing. That is a whole thing, and I know this because I know a couple of guys, but like dudes are coming home after like 20, 30 years in jail, and they don't know how to work cell phones. It's amazing to see this shit. Like, wow, like life literally froze for you.
I'm reading right now what says, although the company pulled out of the U.S. markets, FUBU has managed to stay afloat thanks to international licenses. FUBU still sells in South Africa, Japan, China, Saudi Arabia, and Korea, where it exists as skate. Okay, as skate.
And so given the internet, you can get anything from anywhere. So you'll have so what I imagine these people are doing is there are internet resellers who get their stuff from FUBU, advertise it to those in the States, make their little not little, I won't say little that way, make their what do you call it, Shopify stores or whatever, and that's how it works out. I don't see it because I don't see it in stores, but I'm sure, again, given the internet.
Yo, it's such it's like a weird conversation that is a view of Black America. Like FUBU was for us and by us, right? And now you have to literally order it from overseas.
Well, now it's for them to you.
Like, FUBU is getting ready to be called FU in a minute. It's just for us. Like, fuck y'all.
For us, fuck y'all.
Like, really, that's kind of what's happening here. It's like
that was a good one for us. Fuck y'all.
Life is metaphorical sometimes. It's like a weird irony that it happened that way, because FUBU was supposed to be like, our thing. Finally, a Black clothing line for Black people. And this is how the Black thing is such a gimmick. You can profit off of it, but you got to get out before the market collapses. And that's kind of what they did. Now they had to move overseas.
Man.
Well, no, I think again, I think what happened with the Kanais and all of that stuff too is the market itself uptrended, right? They uptrended to what's the guy's name from New York?
What, Puffy?
No, the white designer that didn't want you to wear stuff, but everybody
Tommy Hilfiger.
Tommy Hilfiger. Like they went to the Tommy Hilfigers. They started going up the chain to Hilfigers, Versace's, and you know what I mean.
Literally, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Because all right, so who was it recently? I think some rapper guy was recently talking about how black people spend all our black money on white designer stuff, and that's a criticism that's relatively legit. And so when we're talking about now FUBU, the For Us, it was the black brand. It's like nah, it's now owned by international conglomerate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. I used to
If
rock
I see anybody in some troop sneakers, though, I'm still clowning.
Yeah. But oh shit.
LA
All right.
gear.
We are closing in on the 3-hour mark, and I think it's probably a fair, safe play to wrap it on up right now. We smuggled in something about the divestment community without going full hard. I don't know how Red Supreme do that shit. He be going hard. I ain't trying to get entangled with none of that nonsense. But it was worth covering to those who caught the beginning of the show how they saying some things that where it's like they jacking for talking points. That was the beginning of the show. Either they happen to agree with us on some things, or they just I don't know. It was interesting. It was a very interesting dynamic where the divestment community is saying some Manospherian things.
I like the reference that the Hoodservative made. It was like he made the wish on the monkey's paw, right? The monkey's paw will grant you the wish, just not the way you want, but it's not going to work out the way you want it.
They definitely are like that. Like, listen, I just want conservative black women who they not with the bullshit. They understand that the racism game isn't really that important, and they they're honest about things. And you get a bunch of women who hate black men. This damn monkey's paw.
I forgot what it was. A movie like it was. I don't know if we talking about this. Damn it! What was that movie called?
No, it was a movie called Monkey's Paw. Like, this is the literal plot. Like, you make a wish and it comes true in the most like evil, bizarre way.
Or the genie. You know what I mean? The same thing.
No,
yeah, it's a play on the same theme.
Yeah, I grew up. Damn it, I can't remember the movie, but it wasn't called Monkey's Paw, but it's a lot of movies with that same concept. Let's just put it like that. I'm trying to remember the name.
There was that one too with remember the movie with Brendan Fraser and Elizabeth Hurley, was it? Where he was thinking all those. Yeah. Remember, he's like he wants to be a basketball player, but she gives him he's a basketball player, famous and everything. But the part about that was funny is that pinky sized below the waist.
Yeah, Wishmaster. Somebody type Wishmaster in the chat. There was like 5-part series on Wishmaster. Oh man, it's an old concept, but yeah, this is how life just kind of gets you. You really think you want a thing, and then you get the thing, and it's not the thing you wanted.
I think Wishmaster is a movie I'm referring to. No.
Yeah, it's like a whole series of those.
Oh, it's a whole series. No, see what I'm talking about, not a series. I don't know. It's a regurgitated, repeated concept, but yeah, that's what it's
the monkey's paw, right? What monkey's paw is Aesop's fable, isn't it?
I don't know. It could be. It kind of
goes back.
I guess I never heard of it connected to that though.
Yeah, but all right. We about to wrap this bad boy on up. I do gotta thank everybody for coming on through. Thank you again, Hoodservative, coming through and banging out these Saturday shows. Thank you, Judge Zilla, for coming on up, and everybody who supported the stream in any way, shape, or form. Do appreciate each and every one of you. With that said, we are out of here. Peace.
Peace.